T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world, episode 612. I'm with my crew, man. I got the one and only JMG Reptiles Jr. in the building, Krista from Nerify Exotics, and of course, my man who loves MJ because it says it on his shirt, Dave Levison. What's up, Jeff?
How's it going?
Good, man. What's up, Dave?
Doing good.
We
Doing pretty well. Just got one over there.
Did
she get her own?
Yeah, we each got our own mics. Okay.
So here you go.
I can share this
hi.
one?
Yeah, you say hi.
It's good to hear everybody. What do we got? We got at least 5 people listening right now. We have anybody listening right now?
No, we have 25 people right now.
That's 25 fucking people. Well, it's good to see everybody. Where do we want to start this? I just feel good right now.
What's on the necklace? You're giving a Troy. You're giving a Troy a run for your money,
That's
or a run for his money.
Bartholomew. You remember Bartholomew?
Yes.
Yeah, I made this on the way. I wrapped some metal wire around it. Thought it was Sean for a second.
I thought we weren't safe for a minute, but we're okay.
We're good though.
Yeah.
But
yeah, what a story of what's around your neck.
Oh, Bartholomew?
Yes.
Well, did you see Blake yet this weekend?
Yeah, he looks great.
He's fucking trim,
Does he
man.
have abs?
I think he had 2 Rolexes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, you guys remember Bartholomew? We pulled it out of his leg in that episode together.
That was one of the last Unfiltered Reptiles podcast episodes we've ever done.
It was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Damn.
But listen,
You want to wear this?
We're live. No, I don't. Live at Tinley with 2
'Cause
Tinley
it's leaking?
OGs. All right. How do you feel? You're in the lobby, bro. What's up?
I feel great in lobby. It's a little quiet though. I mean, there's nobody in the lobby yet.
It's still early.
It's still pretty early. We'll have to call some people out. You know, I got Vin in there with this guy. I know Vin's gonna stop in and say hello.
You're gonna stay right here for
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, this is perfect for the
I'll text
podcast,
people.
though.
I'll text people.
Yeah, everybody's at the bar.
But yeah. So start the vibe, man. Give me a little something here. Let's get a little back and forth.
Well, everyone knows there's a special feeling to any Tinley, and I feel like the special feeling comes from the people you hang around with. Dave, you're definitely my favorite, top favorite human memory of any Tinley, and it all started from doing episodes right here in the lobby. What's cool is I have somebody who has the same table that he's always had ever since I've been to a Tinley Junior. You know what I mean? So someone who's concreted into the Tinley freaking game. So I think it's an honor just to be sitting here with 2 of you guys, and then obviously the number 1 female in the reptile podcasting game. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to ask Junior. I mean, Junior, this is in a sense a backyard show for you. Is this the biggest show for you? I mean, how much pressure is on your shoulders for a Tinley in March of 2025?
It never really feels like much pressure, just because I've been doing it so long, and it is such a great show, and the crowd and the notoriety the show has keeps growing. I've been doing the show since 2003, and actually somebody said something about oh, hopefully you have a good show, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty much always a good show. I was like, I don't even think I've had a bad Tinley. I think I had a couple so-so ones when I was 17 or 18 years old. But yeah, I mean the show's always good, and it's just getting a larger and larger crowd of people. And actually, the VIP today was probably the most I've ever seen.
How do you feel about VIP on Friday?
I like it.
Oh, it's right in front of my face.
Yeah. I like the VIP. Even though I'm setting up, I kind of like the camaraderie. You just got to be prepared for it. So, I just want to have enough time to unpack, label stuff, and talk to people simultaneously and make some pre-sales.
So you're always ready before you get here. Things go on table. You're not spend a lot of time pricing things out, because I do hear some vendors say that a little privacy might be nice on Friday.
I don't know. I mean, it could cost. I mean, it's really about these interactions and just enjoying interactions. I mean, there are times where it's you might get a little irritated. Yeah,
Some poo maybe.
Yeah, somebody keeps asking questions. You're trying to do something, but I just be polite and everything. And I don't know. I really love the VIP on Friday, honestly.
Well, I mean, tell you the truth, at this show, I find that where I say it's kind of a bummer because I get here, I'm unpacking the animals. Sometimes they're a little gross from the drive. It sucks when I first take something out of a display and there's 5 people looking at the shit in my display case. If I had 5 minutes to do that, I'd be pretty happy. But to be honest with you, the upside about Friday and the VIPs is they spend their money on Friday, not on Saturday or Sunday a lot of times, because they paid the money to get in early, so they're hand picking what they want.
Yeah.
So I do talk to a lot of vendors that actually say Friday is the best day. They have another 3 days of sales. Not everybody.
Yeah, I want to say it's definitely never my best day, but I always, typically I cover like the cost of the show on Friday. So
that's good.
And right now, I feel like, everyone could only hope to cover a cost when it comes to doing a show right now, right? And making sure their overhead's taken care of. What do you think, Dave, that makes Junior like not ever have a bad Tinley?
Have you ever seen Junior stable at the show?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, first off, he works with one of the cutest species in the hobby, and he's got one of the best varieties for that species in the hobby. So if you walk the show, you're not going to see anything that even compares to what Junior stable is. So there's always, in the geckos too. Leopard geckos are always the balance. If he has a bad show where maybe hognose aren't selling, usually leopard geckos are going to pick up the slack.
yeah, it's it kind of goes both. Well, hognose, like the sales have been good, consistently for like the past decade. And leopard gecko sales are always kind of, there. Sometimes they're a little slower, but they're always pretty decent. Even here, like today, I sold a couple Black Knights, and
So is the Black Knight the hottest thing you got in leopard geckos right now? Because it seems like for the past 4 years.
Yeah, it's very aesthetically pleasing. Krista, she's a leopard gecko breeder.
Yeah.
She knows you're going to get a lot of interest. Like, it's just like, it attracts people that aren't even really into leopard geckos because they're, a black leopard gecko. It looks pretty cool.
What's a rare gecko you just added? You just added some sort of rare leopard gecko, no? Talking to the mic.
I don't know if I added. I mean,
You just added a rare species.
oh yeah, knobtail geckos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you did not? Okay, not
yeah,
tail geckos. All right.
knobtails. Poberensis. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty similar to leopard geckos. Pretty be appreciated. I don't know if this is the word, but they're pretty easy to keep. They make great pets. They have like the huge eyes. They look cute. Pretty easy to care for.
How accurate do you guys think this is? Like if you have anything but ball pythons, you have a good chance of doing good at a Tinley right now. What do you think? How accurate is that right now?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think some of the guys I talked to in this weekend is over that has the best weekends are probably ball python guys, but maybe quantity on some other species. If I had to pick something, what do you think the second hottest thing this weekend would be? I mean, you could just say anything at this point.
Yeah, I'm so stuck in my own world, man. I'm so stuck in just behind my table and hognose snakes. But I do see like people that walk around. Like I remember the one show somebody had some captive born fish scale geckos, and I was like, oh, those are really cute. I was like, they're really cool looking. And they only had 2 left. They're like, oh, we had like a dozen of them. We only had 2 left on, and that's on Sunday morning. Somebody else, they sold 2 Abronia, and they were looking for them specifically, and somebody got to them before. So it seems like the niche stuff that's like pretty popular sells, and I'm sure ball pythons are selling really good too, but it's probably more special stuff.
They're going to be the more high dollar sale on single animals this weekend. I did see the table with the captive bred Bolins. Did you guys walk past that?
I seen that. I seen those 2 Bolins. Those are captive born.
Shout to Scott Flood, who was actually talking to me and Krista during sound check. He's here with his daughter. But yeah, this is going to be his now. Well, if it works out, this will be his 5th consecutive year breeding Bolins.
Wow, successfully 5.
Successfully 5 years, yes. Well, he's the only one. I mean, no, not the only one. There's another guy named. Oh boy, he's out of Kansas. Mark Miles.
Yep.
What's the trick? Are they sharing
Multiple males.
Multiple males?
Like,
I almost said that
ratio.
because they like green anacondas. They like the males are always in breeding balls, so it's just like multiple males.
Because
Interesting.
obviously, you know how expensive Bolins are, so when people invest, they get a pair.
Yeah, or they get 1.3. They think it's like a fucking corn snake.
But it's something where you need the male to have that right instinct at the right time that the female's ready. And there's just a lot of offset moments with the male and female.
There's probably a lot of stimulation with extra males too. Yeah,
exactly. Somebody's gonna want to get the job.
I've had female hognose that would be non-receptive, and I'd have to put more and more males in there for certain stubborn females to become receptive and get a lock.
I mean,
it's not common.
Almost any snake, like even a boa, right? Like you have to like get them going sometimes.
You have to get them going. And honestly, even in the boa community, a lot of guys say hold back at 2.1, not a 1.2, because sometimes you want an extra male if he's just not doing what he's doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
But no, the Bolins thing though, like I've talked to Hans over in Germany, and like I don't know if they were going 1.1, but I always thought they were going 1.1. I never remember part of the conversation talking about multiple males. But anytime you have multiple males, you're gonna have a higher success rate.
Well, I've seen it with like beaded lizards. I know people that breed beadeds and they need multiple males. It really helps. And then sometimes it seems like certain, like I'm not an expert on breeding beaded lizards. I'm pretty new to them. I have a small collection. but you know, they'll sometimes combat males, or certain males will be receptive with females, or you know, you're receptive to one another, and other ones are not, like Leachianus, like maybe somewhat similar. But then I see this one guy, he has a pair of Horridum, and they breed every year for him, and he just has a really good receptive pair. Other people, they have a couple pairs that they just never breed for him, and they might need multiple males and females, and to, you know, do extra steps to try to get them interested in one another.
Yeah, and there's a lot of species like that. Even like the northern blue tongues, when I get them fired up, I have some males that aren't ready to go when it's time to go. And a lot of times males turn on a little too late in my season, and I've never really found a way to adjust that. So having more males in that species too actually gives me a higher percentage of litters every year.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Junior, like, is there okay, first and foremost, do you have males that go to do you have a male that goes to multiple females for any of your high-end hognose projects? And do you also have like specific males that won't go to any other females for certain reasons?
Pretty much, if I have a really important male, generally I'll breed them to multiple females. I don't really ever have a male that's like, you know, designated for one or two females, unless the pairing is like, just doesn't make sense genetically. But as long as it's like a genetically diverse or generally these combos, you know, with hognose snakes, a lot of the combos work very well with one another. So for the most part, you know, I'll breed a really good breeder male to like multiple females, and I'll even stagger my breedings to give my males breaks. And so like hognose snakes, they're not the hardest species breed. It's definitely not like a Boland's python or anything like that. But, you know, so I'll bring females like, you know, out at different periods from cool down. So then that male's had some time to rest, and I can cycle them to her. So generally my more important males, you know, I pay, you know, just as much attention to them as any of my other males, but I might try to give them more breaks so that way I can maybe put them to a few more females than I would a typical guy.
Now, I got to ask you guys, you know, well, first and foremost, Junior, obviously, you know, there's a decline in the ball python market. Like, in a sense of people getting out, what's the turnover ratio in the hognose game compared to the ball python game, just based off what you could see on the outside looking in?
Are you talking about turnover from people like that were in there getting out?
Just, yeah, people who were checked in and checked out.
It seems like it is escalating a bit. The funny thing is, though, you know, I don't think it's all tied to, you know, expectations, because obviously some people's expectations, I think, were a little too high, or they're wanting that easy 2021 sales where it's like, oh, everything just flew off the table, didn't matter what the genetics were, high price, pretty much sold pretty quickly. And, you know, the hognose market, you know, I hear, the funny thing is I hear both people doing well and people like kind of complaining. The people I hear complaining, though, is like they generally just have a few limited projects, and it's like they have good stuff, but they see other things selling, and, you know, they aren't selling as good as they used to, but they don't have probably enough project diversity, or their prices are too high,
or anything,
or they're not going to enough.
I mean,
shows.
guys, I'm just saying, there's people who are involved, but they don't have any projects yet, but they're strongly opinionated, right? Like, they have a strong voice into something that either they tried and they failed at, or they're just not there yet with, you know what I mean? Like, and mainly what are we going to say, Dave? We're going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, not everybody can make the same amount of money on a Pompeii. Just because you buy a Pompeii to make Pompeii, you might not be able to market the same product, the same price. Right. So I think some people that dive right into the high-end market and then try to do high-end prices without having a brand name yet, people don't really spend the money right away. They don't really trust it if they can just go to the other guy and spend a hair more. Some people like the badge of honor is spending a little more with the right breeder too.
Okay, so that's a good question. Are you seeing that kind of turnover, Junior, where somebody maybe invests in you, maybe gets a little success breeding their own, but then they try to, you know, insinuate they're going to get the same pricing with their production, and like it doesn't work out? Or maybe they come to you asking you, how come I can't sell my hognose? Like, does anyone come to you asking why they can't sell their hognose?
Funny enough, no. I mean, I've had people say like they're like, you know, but never like directly asking me. Maybe like passively through like maybe on a Discord, or like somebody like I was talking to her like, oh yeah, things aren't selling that good right now, or what do you think about the market? But it's pretty like I don't know. I feel like most people probably just, if they want to ask me that, just aren't going to, and they're probably not going to like my answer. Like well, hognose still sell. Like I just put like, I'll give you an example. My friend Gabe reps in Texas. He makes the scent strips and everything, and they work really well. And that's for getting, you know, snakes that are typically like, let's say, frog, toad, or lizard eaters feeding on mice, these scent strips. And it even worked for like the Dominican red mountain boas. I heard some pretty good feedback, and another species of tree boa. But anyway, you know, he's new, but you know, he interacts with people. He's created a product just like in over the last few weeks, and he's selling some hognose for me on consignment. And like we're friends and we do stuff together. And he's bought stuff for me. I was like, well, if you want to like start selling some hognose before you have any of your own produced to see how it is, you know, just say, hey, they're from me. We're collaborating. And then he goes, I don't understand why people are complaining. He goes, this actually been very easy. He goes, actually easier than I even expected to sell these hognose. And this comes from a guy that's been selling hognose for about 6 months.
But he's selling your stuff.
He is selling my stuff. Some of the people know. Some of the people that are buying don't know, though. But most of them end up fine because like, they're like, "Where's this from?"
He only says if they ask, type of thing.
Well, it's in the ad.
Okay.
But some of these people that are like buying this stuff, they're like newer breeders, and it's like they know of me. So yeah, I get where you're going at. Yeah, maybe my name is helping quite a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, where's your entourage here? I thought we had 20 fans here today.
Yeah, because they're out to eat. They're not supposed to be in a podcast. It wasn't the podcast is like the podcast is with the four of us. It wasn't like and everybody's like a friend of Jeff's behind them from the Discord.
Okay, anything you want to say to your community out there?
Yeah. Oh no, it's been a lot of fun. It's been very I'm trying to think of the good word to put it, but it just makes me very happy to see my friends and to see a lot of people that never met each other in person that talk online in group chats and share the same interest in hognose snakes and the same interest in the community. And I wish there was like, and the thing is, it's like the wish is kind of coming true, getting more people like that because the group is growing. And, you know, it's just a lot of positivity and, you know, they want to learn and they just want to have fun with hognose. They're not too concerned about making money. They do want to get into like some nice, cool, high-end projects, and I even sure I'm like, if you're doing this, and just getting really nice stuff, and making really nice combos, and you're just having fun, and you're interacting with people in a positive way, people are going to want to buy stuff from you, and you're going to end up doing good. You might not make enough money to do it for a living, but you're not going to get your shirt stolen or whatever. You lose your shirt. That saying.
I mean, some people look better without a shirt.
Dave.
I like that.
Shirt.
I hope you wear that shirt on your next episode.
I might. This is my next episode.
It says I love MJ, by the way. No, but okay. Let me ask you guys this.
Well, can I say one thing?
No, sure. I'm sorry.
She's the newest ball python person in the community. I mean, what's been your take the last 4 years, the outside looking at?
I know you did ball pythons.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean, I've only been in ball python. This will be my second year breeding, so I'm very, very new. I didn't start buying stuff.
How much money did you get Brock Wagner 10 minutes ago?
Hey, no comment. But I do like my sunset stuff.
Oh,
so
Respect.
She's in it.
yeah.
I had one a good friend of mine hit me up this past week, and he was like, "Man, I just don't know how I feel about the sunset thing." I was like, "You just got to stick it out."
You just gotta
I mean, it's
work with what you like.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna like every single project. So
I mean, I don't know, Junior, is there something that you work with or have worked with project-wise that you're like, maybe that's not what I want to pursue, and you had to go a different direction?
Maybe Brazilian rainbow boas. I mean, I like them, but yeah, I got rid of my Brazilian rainbow boas, and I don't regret it. I mean, I talked about that one time. I mean, I'd sell babies to people. Hey, hognose people. There's some of my friends.
It's called your entourage.
Oh, and my girlfriend. And but but Brazilian rainbow boas. Especially selling to people like we talked about that, Dave. That they're they're definitely not a newer person snake. They're definitely a little more moderate level, or somebody that's they require maintenance. So, but yeah, that's about it. I had a few ball pythons. I like ball pythons though. I like the genetics. I think genetics, combos are awesome.
Definitely, you adding beadeds to your project list for the last year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Probably the coolest thing that you've done since I've known you.
It's an interesting one. I actually almost bought an adult pair of Horadum because it's like the guy was selling them real cheap, and I was like, asked him why he's selling them cheap. I go, I'm just trying to make room. And I was like, yeah, they probably don't breed. He got them from somebody else. I was like, I have an adult male, maybe my male. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this right now. I got to focus on hognose. I have enough beaded lizards.
How big's your beaded group at this point?
It's 20.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I only have a few adults. Most of them are babies, but once they get to adults, my main concern is like selling them.
Do you have any Alvarez or just?
No, I just hoard them and
Right?
the super blacks and exasperatums. I'm done. Like I like the Alvarezi, but I'm not like Steve's talking to me about it. I was like, nah, I was like, I'll do more Horridum. If I get any more beads, I'm just gonna add to Horridums. The other thing is too, you just can't really get 2 beadeds if you're gonna get a pair.
No, you gotta have at least multiple males.
Yeah, you gotta get multiple. So it's like, dude, I'm not buying 5 or 6 Alvarezi. I get it, like, and I like to Horridum a lot, so I'm just saying Horridum.
Yeah, if you do beadeds, I think they sell themselves. I think there's been
They
very
do,
few
actually.
Tinleys I've ever went to. Yeah, no, I think you'll do great with them. Yeah, just having them, even in this environment, you'll do well.
They're cool. Yeah, the cool thing is I can sell them in my state of Ohio without a permit. Other people can buy them, and then PA is the same, which is neighboring. The only thing is like shipping. Like I don't want to have to go with Delta Airlines and do all that. So hopefully I can just sell to people in Ohio and PA. So if you're looking for a beaded lizard in like 3 years, I might have some babies.
I got a topic before we let Junior go to his entourage. In case he wants to. He's not dedicated to this right now. You stay a little bit longer, okay? Shout out to Delta. I've used Delta Dash, or not even called Delta Dash, but I've used Delta before. But I don't know. Let's talk about shipping, man. What's going on with shipping?
Oh, yeah. Well, I do use Morph Market shipping. I still use Ship Your Reptiles.
Okay.
I still use it. I do Southwest Airlines. I do air cargo. And so, like, yeah, Darian is like, he's made it very hard not to switch. And then, like, I get the mild threatening contract to get the green check mark, and I'm texting him at the same exact time. I was like, it reads like a contract. He's like, yeah, kind of. He's passive. I was like, okay, fine. And I was like, also, that like, wait, this is a horrible negotiation. I was like, I want more stuff, also.
Does that you really feel you want more out of the check mark?
No, not the check mark, just as me as an individual person for switching over.
Well, what are your demands?
I mean, I still ship with Ship Your Reptiles, but I use a lot of Morph. But here's the thing. Some of the shipping is like, I get a great rate, but some of the stuff is like $15-20 of shipment, and I ship like hundreds of shipments.
So that adds up.
It adds up. Over 2 years, it's going to be like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I have people who showed me their T-chart just by being in this one day Friday at Tinley. They've showed me the savings by just using Morph Market. And like, for somebody, I've only done like 30 something shippings with Morph Market, but even I see the amount of savings that I feel like nobody would ever ignore, really. Like any kind of business person will look at savings, right? But at the end of the day, too, like I respect your loyalty to Ship Your Reptiles. I feel like if you own a business, you do what you feel like is right by your business agreements or whatever that you have going on, right? But I feel like nobody should ever tell you what to do with your business decisions, right?
No, we don't. I don't have any agreement with them. I like Susie. I like Chad. I like their whole team over there. Darian is just like, he's like, here's the thing. I never had this nightmare, but I could. Darian getting into hognose snakes and him being like, yeah, these guys make too much money on hognose. It's about time to put them in their fucking place. I got all these new hognose morphs and but yeah, obviously that's not going to happen.
I think I missed that post. I don't.
Yeah. It's a hypothetical made up scenario.
For the record, do you like Darian or not?
Yeah, I like Darian. Yeah, actually, we text and everything, and so yeah, he's actually I met him at the Southeast Expo. I think he's misunderstood, because especially everything behind a computer is different, and that's everybody knows computer Darian. So I've met him in person, and yeah, I'd like him.
Yeah, our computer Darian fucks with me a lot less than in person Darian.
Yeah,
I got a question. Is there a computer MJ and a real MJ or no?
I don't follow you. I don't know.
What? He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
No, I just started
No, you
last
don't.
week.
I know you
I'll
don't.
check.
I
You
would
want?
force you to watch podcasts sometimes. Miguel, you like Hispanics.
Well, I really enjoy talking about a new developing market, and I thought his whole talk about the Mexico market was fascinating, man.
that is interesting.
I thought it was a beautiful conversation, honestly.
I'll take one out of nothing.
Well, that's the only one I watched other than the Babu podcast at one time on a different network.
Oh, what?
Well, it wasn't my fault. William Philippek turned it on when we were driving, man. I didn't have a choice. But I would have listened to it. It was good. It started with like racist Asian jokes, and then it was like, hey, Babu's here.
That sounds fun. Well, I'd say, MJ, your personality is so intertwined with the podcast you're out there. I'd say online MJ is pretty similar to in-person MJ.
Good.
I think, yeah.
That's the best way. You can't put on an act, man. You just have to act.
Yeah, there's no laugh. But it's like you guys, too. It's kind of like we all get along because how we interact via social media, it's the same thing in person for the most part. And we all know not everyone's like that, but Junior's like that, you're like that, Chris is like that, and there are a bunch of people at the bar that are like that. You know what I mean?
It's a comfortability thing, too, because, like, some people aren't comfortable with being, like when I started doing lives, I don't even remember why I really started doing them. I think I was like, I was working on animals, and I was like, normally I talk to hognose people. I was like, let me do a live, and I'll talk to hognose people. And so like the first few, like, you know, I guess I was slightly nervous, but then as people talk to me, you know, it became pretty natural because I'm like, oh, I'm just interacting with people. And then I'd actually have like more like stage fright issues with maybe doing a podcast. But then after a while, then you don't.
Or running your own.
Yeah, or yeah.
I would say Junior has gotten himself out of some hairy situations where either like I wasn't looking at my phone. Either way, I've left Junior to just do his thing, and he's pulled it off, man. And I'm like, Junior, good job, buddy. Even though you might have not known that thumbnail was like there the whole time, like you figured out how to get it down.
Yeah. You know what? I figured it out each time pretty quick. And then this last time, I was like, is it a different spot? Like, why did it say this time like take me a while to figure it out? But yeah. Yeah, like Joe was cringing at that when I was trying to figure it out. He's like, ugh. I was like, well, no one's like, we'll just like fast forward if they listen to it again. It's like a few minutes, just go by the first few minutes.
It makes it for what it is. Though. It's
Yeah.
raw content.
I'll be honest. I think like 2 weeks where you didn't have anybody show up and we were just riffing the whole time were like 2 of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Like I love this.
The one with William Philpeck and Dave and I, that was really good. You know, so there's a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite ones.
No, it was good. I like working with William. He's a talking guy. I think nice about William. I talked about it. He's watched every reptile podcast for the last 10 years in the hobby. He knows every conversation. He knows more than I do about all the current events.
I think the funny thing about William is even when you have him on as co-host, it's like he's just there to listen sometimes. And it's like you almost have to poke him, but he's just like,
Well, you know
like
what's funny?
he's gathering all that information. He soaks it all up.
Every time we get done, I always apologize to him that I didn't let him get more words in. He's like, no, man, I just like listening. But no, I feel like I need to get him more involved. I don't get him involved enough. I think, what was the one podcast? It was the Ron St. Pierre one.
Yeah.
He kind of changed everything last minute.
He seemed
And
a little
more
nervous
people.
for that one.
He seemed nervous for that one. I was a little sad about that because I set that up for him to talk to Ron. I told him we're going to do another one, just the three of us. So when we brought John Carlson into the conversation and we brought Mike Schultz in, it was just a different conversation we had if it was just three of us. So I owe William one more.
How many shows are you hitting a year now, Junior?
Oh, I don't know. A dozen? Like big expos? Yeah, right around there. Maybe like 8, actually. This year's going to be a little less because some like 3 are falling on the same time and I can't do them all at once. And I think I'm going to try to do a little herping. Dave and I might go somewhere. Wanted to do some like filming, herping, and some documentary kind of like stuff on some information in the history of the reptile hobby and like things that pertain to my interest and others, like hognose snakes. Because after a while, information starts to get lost. Actually, I just got a good lead from Dave Kaufman today from this thing I talked about, Dave. Remember when I was talking about there's this guy that had these really crazy locales of Plains hognose snakes on his table that like should have technically been illegal. But anyway, they may have been grandfathered in. But so later on it'd be illegal. I found out who the dude was, and I just didn't imagine it.
Okay.
So yeah, and that was from 2002 Daytona when I was 15 years old.
So are you going to pursue this locality hognose thing? Are you going to try to maybe go and find some of that old lineage?
Well, not so much finding old lineage, but I just wanted some background history from other people. And it'd just be interesting to know where you got the localities, the origin of some of it. As far as me with localities, I'm just going to have a few Montana localities, maybe a few other odd spots, Texas. Nothing crazy, though.
Why the Montanas?
Because they're legal.
Okay.
And Montana's massive, and there's a lot of areas where they haven't herped in Montana, too. So, yeah.
What's your, do you work with any Madagascar hognoses, Dave? Oh, not Dave. Junior. I was looking at you were looking at Dave, and I was thinking.
Yeah. The Madagascar giant hognose, the Leoheterodon. They're not related. Like they're not in the same genus. They're cool. I never owned one though, but I do see people work with them, and I do appreciate them. They are a very cool snake. When I see one at the show, like at a show, especially a big adult, especially a big healthy adult with some extra weight on it, I'm always impressed. I always like checking them out. So, we got Dennis. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, this is D-Mac. D-Mac in the building. Tinley, veteran. What's up, Mac?
How much? How are you?
Good. Say hi to the people. You're live right now.
Hi to the people. Look at this fancy thing.
Wow. You know about
I know, but it's fancy. Like
He's got a nice setup.
yeah. So what are we doing?
So
It's a
why
nice
is it
jacket.
when I Google your name, only a picture of you in a draft comes up, but not you with your arm up an elephant? Like, do I have to go to like somewhere else to find that image on Google? Am I?
It's on my Facebook, I think.
Well, yeah, but everything's.
I don't
on
know.
Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll work on that. I'm not sure. Maybe you could make it so it's the new picture for people.
Okay, we can make it viral. Did I
Yeah.
ever tell you I was viral on on Google for a week?
I can only imagine.
Yeah, if you typed in "sexy goalie," I was top 10 images.
What was the image?
Me half naked wearing my goalie pads with duct tape or with like tape on my
does that
nipples.
surprise you?
Well, no, but I wanted.
I find it.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
I feel-
I'm already looking.
I feel like your videos, like your July 4th videos, should be top tier.
Or the snow ones where you're going down the hill
Yeah.
and stuff.
Those are a little different. The 4th of July one, I think that'll catch on eventually. Maybe the right one.
Yeah, I
but
feel like
mean,
you should be like a national treasure with that.
Well, the thing is every year they get a few more views, so I'm pretty happy. And this past year, it was just so random. It worked out perfect. But I got a little, I don't know what to do next year. It's either going to be a slip and slide, a little motorcycle. I haven't decided yet, but I got to think of something.
Slip and slide.
I think that's a good idea.
Slide
What,
sounds ideal.
those things when we were a kid, they were like
Yeah,
banana
that
thing.
seems-
They were
that
like
seems
yellow. I don't know what
nice.
it was.
Banana yellow? It's
There-
4th of July, buddy. Red, white, and blue.
I know, but there was like some banana slide when I was a kid that I was like, and this
What, that snow thing?
and that thing is distracting. It's awesome.
I got distracted. There's people waving at
Oh.
her. She messed up the whole episode.
He might have. I think Junior's fanny pack won up your fanny pack for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know. What does it say?
It says I support USR.
Cool.
There's a light up scroll bar.
That's nice. That's nice. You donating that to USR?
No, I won it from USR. Yeah, I it's at an auction. I bid on it.
It's pretty sweet.
I like how Dennis comes over and he's conducting the interview. He's asking us questions.
Yeah, this
Well, then you're a veteran. How long have you been coming to Tinley?
So I've been coming to Tinley since I think I came with Chad. So Chad had tables. I came here in 2012, I believe, for the first time. And then actually the three of us vended at one time. I don't remember when that was. Remember
I
what?
probably had something on the table.
No, it was like you, me, and Chad. We like had like a 3-table section we did together or something like that. No,
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
so when you had Scaleless the first time.
Oh, when I did?
Yeah,
And that was here?
yeah,
I remember now. You just had to say scaleless, the lesser scaleless. I sold
Yeah.
that weekend.
yeah. So see, but I don't know. And I think I've had my own table since like 2021, maybe some 2021, something like that.
So tell me about the waves in your sales over the years. Has there been certain years that certain species have done well? The next year did nothing and you were surprised? Like, tell me about your
Yes.
consistency. Give me some of that.
Yes. So I mean, I don't know. I'd say you always sell ball pythons depending on what the values are. Sometimes your average price is $300. Sometimes it's $1,500. I would say that definitely has gone up and down. COVID made those all higher. For me, like albino Hondurans have been one of those things. Like I had a show here one time where I sold like 8 of them for $300 a piece. And then I'll bring some of them and I'll put them down like in the 200 or 150 range and they won't sell any. So it's kind of weird because they're not even wholesale sales, they're retail sales. But sometimes the colubrids go really well, sometimes they don't. Maclots, olives and maclots I've sold here pretty well over the years.
The Honduran thing's weird. And the reason I say weird is Junior used to have some Hondurans to make xanthic stuff or aneries.
Yeah.
And I take him to a bunch of shows and nobody cared. And then all of a sudden everybody cared. And I think it's done that for years.
Yeah, you find the right show and it's like they all go. And it's hard to beat like an albino Honduran. It's like living candy.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to beat the look of it. So it's surprising. But
Yeah, they're very colorful. And then the aneries, like I always had, they were ghosts, but they were like the most extreme ones. But yeah, they always sell. But yeah, sometimes you don't have to sell for very much. But if I ever like somebody ever wanted to buy like wholesale and they're like, hey, do you have like some milks? And I'm like, sometimes I'd be like, yeah, but yeah, a lot of times they retail pretty good. So yeah, I feel like Honduran milks are one that kind of goes ups and down. So
yeah.
I think you see that with a lot of like lamp pelted stuff.
Yeah. And I don't want to give it away, but so a lot of my exporters have been looking for a lot of vanishing pattern stuff, no matter what the clubber species, which is funny because that vanishing pattern corn snake stuff kind of fell off for a few years.
Sure.
And now all of a sudden people want it and it's going back to that price it was at. But for a while there, I had to go a little lower to wholesale. But yeah, the vanishing or Honduran stuff seems to be pretty hot right now.
I have a female that should go next year, so I didn't really thought about her.
One thing
But
I
They won't
should
be popular
say,
next year.
it goes
But
in
it's
those
probably true.
cycles. You probably noticed these ones. Like I've seen it with like leopard geckos. Like when the Max Snow came out, like that was like the new mutation, and you could make the Max Super Snow. And everybody wanted that. So, like, it was like a solid black-eyed, black and white leopard.
Right.
It was like the most amazing, leopard gecko morph. And like I was like, wow, like these are so cool. Everybody loved them, and you knew everybody's gonna want to, buy the heck out of them, especially when they were like, became a little more affordable. What?
Just don't do his job. You're sharing microphones. He's
Well,
probably moving away from
well,
the face the more you talk.
you're sharing yours, so I was going to continue with yours. It doesn't really matter.
Like how your pants match his shorts and your shorts match his shirt.
Kind of. Does he have a King of Hearts hognose playing card on his pants too, or his shorts? No,
I
he
don't
does
think
not.
so. Maybe, but I don't think so.
So the Super Snows, when they became more affordable and everybody's producing them, they were selling really hot. Well, what happened was everybody was producing them, and then the demand died off. And then what would happen next is everybody stopped producing them. But Super Snows are still very desirable because they're really cool looking. And so then when nobody was really having as much anymore, then they started becoming, of course, the next few years, everybody started looking for them again. So I think it happens. If you see there's a lot of albino Honduran milks. Although, like you say, I mean, they're kind of a really good looking snake. So whether there's a lot of them or, obviously, a smaller supply always helps. But yeah, they are just a really pretty snake, and the demand's going to come back.
Right out of the egg, they never lose a meal. There's like a lot of great things.
That's the one thing I do like about Honduran milks, but that's one thing too that could also make the price go down. Is they breed readily and they eat readily. They're not that challenging, other than to sometimes pick up and not get mussed and pissed on.
Yeah, I mean they're not opposed to that, but they're not biting. So that's the nice part. They will piss on you a little bit. But
Yeah.
they eat well. They do well. They're pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be more divided.
Not necessarily.
I feel like they should be more desirable.
You guys can
Well,
put
that's-
it on the
yeah,
corner.
right.
We're trying
go.
to say, I keep grabbing it.
MJ just hates me, so I thought it was his fault.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I
That's
don't know how effective my voice is from this distance. I think it's fair.
I can hear you in the restaurant, so you're good.
Okay.
We did the podcast with I think it was William, Justin, and Chad and Bob the other day, and Chad sounded like he was yelling.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. He was loud.
He's loud.
I don't even know what we sound like right now. It might be loud.
I have no idea.
No idea. What does it say in the comments?
We're not going to read the comments.
Yeah, the comments
I
is
can't read this far.
that makes me feel like my eyesight's shot. What's up, MJ? I'm really into the pie.
You all
comedy.
believe it.
That's all I can read.
I
Hey
know,
guys,
I-
have a good
I-
time at Tinley. All right, we will.
Stop reading the comments. MJ will come back for that.
What's in that? What's in that?
Oh, it's a Bartholomew.
Oh, is that the botfly?
Yeah, it's been in my freezer for about 3 years, and I decided to wrap some metal around it. And I bought this little plastic piece of jewelry from
Oh,
First
wow.
Start.
All right. I think I gotta get going.
Calling it?
Yeah.
We better find someone to fill your seat then. That's your
Dennis.
one job. Well, Dennis is not that fat, buddy. Don't talk about Dennis like that.
What are you
Why am I
talking
filling it? I'm
about?
already
Fill
filling
my
it.
He
seat.
said he could fill both the seats.
No, just
Is he
one.
gonna have to buy two at Delta
One,
now? What are you
it's
talking
trio.
Yeah, we'll go
Thanks
find
for
some.
having me. Guys, come see us at the show tomorrow. We'll be here. Kristen, Dave, Dennis, me, MJ. I'll have Hogno sticks. See ya. And set strips. See
Set
you guys.
strips.
Go find us somebody, buddy. Send somebody
What
over.
happened to MJ? What did he do?
MJ's scared of life. Yeah. Keep trying, Junior. Good shot. Good try.
Nice shot.
So you don't really want to talk to Dennis, what you
No,
said this whole
I
time.
didn't. No, I
It's not- don't be confrontational. Okay. So last couple of years, few years have been buying ball pythons. The more you buy, the more you want to buy more, or the more you buy, the more you want to buy other things. Have you hit the other thing yet?
I think other species, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I added the knobtail geckos, and I like the kahuas as well. But
Are you keeping the knobtails on sand?
Yeah,
You got to keep them fairly dry, right?
fairly dry, mist every couple days on the cool side, so they're a little bit temperamental when it comes to humidity. You don't want to soak them, but they do need some.
Okay. You don't want to treat them like every other guy.
Correct. Yeah, you definitely not like a crested or misting them all the time for sure.
You know what's a bummer about that species is when you couldn't export them anymore.
All right, here's the deal.
Completely changed the market.
Dave Levison loves MJ. Says it on his shirt. What do you have to say about that, D-Mac?
You gotta say about that against my leg, buddy. Sorry. That's all right, man. I get it.
Look at that ring.
Yeah, that rings at night. I feel like you're trying to dress
Oh,
up.
it's very nice.
Well, this is all thrift store stuff
You're
except
not-
for this.
The problem is that you're up. This is all blocking it.
Trying to dress up.
Everybody's
Of course.
not getting to see the whole thing.
Well, this isn't just for these guys. I'm gonna walk around the bar for 2 hours like
Is there
this.
something in there? Is that a worm?
Do you not know
Yeah,
the
it's a
story?
botfly. Remember watched the botfly episode?
No.
Yeah, he'll be here soon, I think. I don't know.
Tell the story, Dave.
Well, it's kind of Blake's story, and he's gonna stop by. Should we save it for Blake?
It was on your show, though.
Okay, fine. So you know Blakey 2-inch, Blake Wilson. He does all the South America trips, does cocaine off of chicks' buttholes.
She just found out what Monster Energy drink is.
Okay, so he'll be here soon. He's looking good as fuck, by the way. But so he let 2 botflies live in his leg for like days
Why?
because he's Blake. And he would do
You'll know when you
videos-
meet him.
You'll know. And he would put up a video on Facebook doing updates, so you see the little thing poking out of his leg for air, and like taking little breaths. And he called him Bartholomew, and he lived in the Bot Cave. And
It's a true story, by the way.
so he came on and did a podcast with us, and pretty much for like an hour and 45 minutes, he tried removing him out of his leg. The one broke in half. He got an infection. Had to go to the hospital. Did you know about that?
Yes.
And the other one he got out and he put in this little jar, and it's been in my freezer for like 3 years, and it was the last thing I moved out of my house. So I thought I'd make a little necklace out of it. I knew I was going to see Blake this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great episode. You didn't watch that?
How long ago was it?
3 years?
3
2
years
years?
Yeah, I think I'm back that far.
Yeah, I'll send you that one. It was a special episode. It was him talking about South American adventures while like with a dirty pair of tweezers he picked up off the floor trying to pull this botfly out of his leg. It's beautiful.
Dave, here's the thing. That's why I love DMAC. Like anytime we have a legend like Eugene Bassett on, he's in my fucking Facebook Messenger giving me props, and that's why I love DMAC, right? But somebody like Krista, who's a little bit definitely greener than I am at this point, I feel happy saying that because I was very noob prior than when I first became friends with Dave. Very wet behind the ears.
Yep.
Still wet. Pause. I'm just saying. For Krista, like, what's some good? Where should she be learning a lot of the old school stuff from? You think?
I do this show every other Friday.
No, tell me.
Are there any like old school women?
Well, Tracy,
But she refuses.
the Holy Grail.
Well, Kim.
Yeah, there is Kim.
She refuses.
Oh well,
They don't want.
shoot.
These are two powerful females that rather not be on camera.
Yeah,
or
that's
even
fair.
speak audio wise.
Well, it depends on the species. I mean, there's a lot of women that have come through the hobby over the years. There's 3 or 4 really good boa breeders I've been talking to for
I don't know
years.
that I know her, but I think she worked for Eugene. She was a condor breeder.
Do you know?
Back in the year.
Do you know Hillary
I'll
Hillary
butter
Webb?
'em up.
I know Hillary.
That might be one of those things. I bet you like Bill would have a good way to do that. But she was a woman that was doing this, I don't know, probably 15 years ago. I mean, she was a condor breeder. I'm pretty sure she was pretty successful. And I think she worked for Eugene, I believe.
Well, it's not there's a lack of women in the hobby, but there's a lack of their shelf life in the hobby. And some of the old school ones got through it, but the other ones, they come and go. You want to invite people over?
Yeah. Should we get Steve Morphs over here?
Hey, Steve!
Steve, come here. You're requested. Come on. He's avoided this a long time, and now he can't because he's not an asshole. He's a really good guy. I love this guy. Steve Morphs, ladies and gentlemen.
How we doing? What's going on?
How are you, Steve? Take the mic, man. Let the people know how you're doing.
Oh, I'm wonderful. Just had some wings. That's about it. Drank a few beers. Having a good time.
We got Tinley, man. Super Bowl shows. How do you feel?
It's my favorite show. Well, it's one of my favorite shows.
Would
This in Daytona.
you bring that you're excited about?
Some zebra stuff. Hypo DG super chocolate stuff I brought.
Can I just tell you something right now, Steve?
Sure.
I finally saw some visual zebra stuff, like visual zebra.
So the video.
I am like so happy for you. Like I'm really happy for everything that you believed in with zebra because it's about to like punch people in the face respectfully.
hoping. I mean, it's got a lot of potential. I've been working with it for like 3-4 years now. A lot of people just thought it was something else, and it kind of killed that project for a while now. Now that they proved through genetic testing it's not a Mackenzie, that hopefully it will gain some speed and actually people will work with it and make some combos that actually make it worthwhile.
R.I.P. Mackenzie. Crystal loves Mackenzie. I don't know why. I was just
never
kidding.
did.
I got nothing against Mackenzie. I mean,
No,
if that's what,
it's not like those things.
if you want to work Mackenzie, work Mackenzie.
I don't have to
I
do
don't
that.
care. It wouldn't. if
They're
it
just not the
wound up being-
same.
If it wound up being the same, I would still work zebra. I wouldn't care.
Right.
I was still going to work the project because I like it. So for now,
I'll be honest, like zebra, I thought it was gonna be a challenging project. I thought it was too inchy like, and I joked around it was a recessive inchy.
I can see that.
Some of the combos I've been seeing Justin posting videos, some of the stuff you guys have done, you guys have manipulated the pattern in a way I didn't think it could be manipulated. So I think it's actually a pretty unique
I
project.
think yellow belly is a key. I mean, because he made the
With
lace
everything.
yellow belly.
With everything.
Yeah,
The lace yellow belly is insane. I made the fire yellow belly, which I thought was super cool until I saw the lace, and I was like, yeah, I could just throw this in the garbage now.
Have you seen a visual spot nose zebra clown yet?
Yes, I did.
And what's your the Justin made? So what's your opinion on that?
I liked when I saw it. I knew it was a zebra. I didn't really have to think about it. I didn't have to wait for a shed testing. I think it's got a lot of potential. There's a lot more things we can do with it. It definitely didn't look just like a spot nose.
That's okay. Yeah.
It didn't look just like a zebra. The combo works. It's just going to add more to it.
Oh yeah. What's the excitement with Pastel and zebra? Because I think Pastel makes zebra everything better.
Pastel works really well with zebra. It brings out that banding. It's more of a sidestep and kind of where it shows the zebra pattern. Pastel doesn't work with everything. I like the way it works with zebra. I like the way it works with DG.
Puzzle.
Puzzle is too many.
I think
There's
there
way
needs
too
to
many
be an
puzzles.
understanding that Pastel is going to complement certain projects in the hobby, and you can't just poo-poo on it because it doesn't look good with clown stuff.
Almost goes for almost any morph in a sense. Almost any morph.
Almost. I mean, there's pieds that probably keep it out unless you just want to make yellow pieds. You know, the clown thing, we know that. But again, zebra, puzzle, it really complements.
I think there's some Lester and Butter combos that should get a break a little bit too.
I think Mojave puzzles are one of my
yes.
favorite. I think the Lester pastels are really nice in the puzzle stuff. Like I said, I just think puzzle's going to get handled differently than clown, and you can't keep on assuming a Pompeii puzzle might be dog shit next to a Pompeii clown.
So how many years now is this your? How many years you been at Tinley now, Steve?
Since the first show after COVID.
So this is your 5th year, right?
No.
Oh, 4th year.
4th year, 8th show, something like that.
And you're standing strong. But what's your overall, prediction of this weekend? How are you feeling about? I'll be honest. Ball python breeders have nothing but competition all around them. So,
Absolutely.
and you're in the thick of it right now. But I have a good feeling about what you brought. But what's your feeling about this weekend?
Honestly, I'm here for a good time. I bring my best stuff. I show it off. If people like it, cool. If they're interested in it, awesome. If not, I can't bring, I will say, Repticon type stuff to this show. I come to this show to show off what I've made. You know what I mean? I don't want to bring just mediocre stuff just to sell stuff. I want to stand out a little bit more than somebody else with some of the projects that I'm doing. But if it helps me in one way with sales or it doesn't, oh well.
Did anything happen today that kind of set the tone for the weekend?
I'll be honest with you. Fridays at this show have been slow for probably the last year and a half.
Interesting.
Not moving as much as we did during the COVID years, but COVID was a different time. Everything was super elevated and
Super not realistic.
Here's a question. When do
Yeah.
you think we're going to stop talking about COVID? Because if we
True.
keep on reminiscing about COVID,
Until COVID breeders
I'll be
die.
honest with you.
make a meme about
I think this is a normal ball python market. This is 2015 or 16, but I wasn't shipping as many snakes in 2015 or 16 as I am now. So honestly, this is probably better than it was back then.
the COVID boom. I think it was the prices during the COVID boom. Like I was hearing about tri-stripe clowns going for $10,000. There was $12,000 DG clowns. I think it was that high dollar market was just a lot more aggressive around that time. Small sales were good too. I guess from top to bottom, it was pretty fucking amazing.
Oh,
to be
it
honest.
was an amazing time.
But we can't keep on like talking about it. Like I get it. I mean, it's been 5 years and we're still fucking talking about it.
I get it, but do you think that how good the market was back then is kind of right now where we're at is a repercussion of what we had?
Yeah, it's kind of like never talking about the fucking bananas going for 30,000. Like we're always going to talk about it. Like how are we not going to forget about that era?
But that was a special time. But yeah, I understand.
If you think about
COVID was a special time, bro.
For
We
some.
met.
you think
Wow,
about
that was deep. That was deep.
2010, we were pretty much dead. Nothing really going
What
on.
happened in 2010 that reflected on that? Like, what did you see happen in the market in 2010? You felt that way.
I heard people.
I was just coming in at that time and starting to breed and just buying snakes, and I didn't really, but it was a hobby for me. I didn't really care if I made money or not. It was just fun for something for me to do. But as we started climbing, and he was like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, we were on a steady, we were selling,
Incline, yeah.
everything was getting better, and then we hit COVID and went
peaked.
Now, if we would have avoided COVID, would we kept going in a trajectory that we would have kept going and maybe peaked later, but still had steady and wouldn't have the drop that we do now?
Well, everything with this hobby is the market. So, and the stock market usually has a pretty good reflection of what this market does. I don't know, man. When I say like what happened in 2010, like it seems like single mutant crashes. Like there's a mutation, like we said, banana, and everybody watches banana go from 30 to 2. Everybody watches GHI go from 30 to 2,
Right.
and they talk about this is when the market crashed. But really, they're just reflecting on two popular mutations crashing in that moment because everybody chased the same thing. And I think all these market crashes, the same deal. We all chase the same mutation. The market crashes until the next mutation comes up and stands in its place.
Everything has potential to crash or blow up, right?
Absolutely.
That's the dynamic of what we do, though, right, Dave? Like it's either going to go in your favor or not go in your favor.
We're talking zebra. Michael Friedman was selling zebras 7 to 10 years ago. You know that. They hit
What
the
about
market.
Adam Chesla, who was dressed as a zebra.
Well,
that was
and
depressing.
That was bold. It was.
I felt so bad for him.
Don't feel bad for him. He's
But he
beautiful. The
looks
guy's a goddamn 10.
He looks stressed.
Yeah, I can tell you Chestnut stuff.
I shot to Adam, but he was wearing a zebra suit and he had a cardboard necklace on that said, "Please ask me about my zebra."
Yeah, well,
That's a true story.
Here's the thing.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember, and I don't think it worked. And it
It didn't work.
It did not work.
But the problem was it wasn't his real vibe, Like it wasn't like a fake vibe, but it just wasn't Adam. It felt forced. I love Adam. It was a good gimmick. Hey, if I showed up to the show with that costume on,
Nobody would have blinked an eye.
yeah, and I might have made some sales, but with him, it was just a little different for people. But it was a great idea. Just not all marketing works for everybody. Hey, it's Brock Wagner. Should we talk to Brock too?
Yeah.
Stay for that, by the way, Steve.
Or I don't know. I want Steve for my own one-on-one. So Steve, you're good. Get out of here. I love you,
done?
Steve. Brock
Yeah.
Wagner, come here real quick, sir. No,
Oh,
Brock. Here we go.
And we lost Steve. No, Brock's coming back.
I have a friend named Krista. Krista gave Brock 2,100s earlier today, which accumulates to $2,000. Here he is, Brock Wagner, the OG of the Tinley game. What's up, Brock?
How is everybody doing?
Happy you're here, buddy.
How
You
are-
just made this podcast.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I'm a nobody.
Oh,
No, the
I
best
love
thing is-
this. I love this.
Read the
Check
shirt,
that
read the
out.
shirt. I love everything.
I love MJ. We love MJ.
You know what's great
That's
about your
awesome.
timing, bud? Did you hear us talking about the banana market crashing? Is that why you came to
Fuck,
those
is the
doors?
banana market crashing?
Again?
Holy shit.
Again?
I am so fucked, everybody. Jesus Christ. How am I going to make any money? The bananas are done. We are all going to hell.
Back it up.
You still make your Batman. Batman are still selling well in the Banana Project. Batman bananas?
I have never made a Batman
We call it
banana.
Gotham.
They call
Come on,
them
man, pay
Gothams. I
attention.
didn't know.
So I always tell a story. I was at your table staring at you in Daytona years ago.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
eavesdropping, really.
All right.
And
It's probably true. It's probably
is it
happened.
true that you turned down a guy for like $60,000 on a male banana at one point? Like you
Oh,
told him that
fuck.
just wasn't going to work out?
I told him it was.
And you were just, I was right there for it. I talk
Yes.
about this all the time to people. I was there. It was
And I
very
didn't know who
special.
Dave was because
I'm always
look
around.
at Dave. I
You wouldn't
mean,
have noticed.
would Dave be in my stratosphere? No, he would not.
Gretchen,
Well,
I
we're
love
big
MJ.
now. We're big
I
now.
love MJ.
I
Yeah.
like that.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Not
So
as bold as I thought it was. I should have got it in black. I'm sorry.
yeah. So no, so you were actually around. You were around when I told that guy to fuck off.
Yeah, I was standing right there. Yeah, I'm always around in these beautiful moments in the hobby, in all honesty.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
told
you were
everybody.
like, what the fuck is wrong with Brock right now? Is that
Yeah.
what you're doing?
That was the show, and we're going to bring Adam Chesla back in. I just traded Adam Chesla like 10 display cases, my first 10 I'd ever built. And I rolled up to the show, and you remember Chesla's setup.
Oh, I love Chesla. Actually.
Love Chesla.
Yeah, Chesla's a friend of mine.
He's a great friend of mine. He was the first big breeder that I really became friends with. He let me sleep on his bedroom floor because we were Jewish together.
Okay. All right.
So I built him 10 display cases. I got to the show to trade it for animals.
Okay.
And I'm like, cool, I want this one, this one, this one. He's like, I don't own that. I don't own that. I don't own that. Pick son over here. It was like, oh, it's like pinstripes. like, so I took home a few pins. Yeah.
I like
Big
it.
back then. Big back then.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. No. Yeah. So MJ is friends with somebody, and that individual, we're not going to name names, but he came up to me, and I think he wanted to give me like $30,000 for a banana male, and I told him no. That was true. So, yeah.
Why
And
is it just my friend? Are you sure you're not?
well, I think he's your friend. So yeah. So he was your friend. So anyway, yeah. So that happened as well. You know, I had morals and standards back then. I'm a whore now, so it's okay.
It wasn't a long story, but we had John Carlson on last week with Ron St. Pierre, and we were
Okay.
talking a little bit about Will slogging it out. Not in detail, just kind of talking about it. Small conversations. He was talking about when he got his banana in that was supposed to be a caramel,
Yes.
and he had already made the deal. I want to say he might have said it was going to be like 12.5, I want to say. And when he got it in and realized it wasn't a caramel, it was like, man,
So-
should I keep
So
this?
no, so because I got my banana mail, my first one from Will Slough. It was a big ordeal, blah blah blah, and it was 2008, right? Because you were there, the wonderful wife, she was there, and so it was 2008. No, it was 2000. It was the fall show of 2008 when we got it in. If I remember
When
correctly.
I was like 7 months pregnant.
Wouldn't that have been when we did
He
it?
doesn't remember
I don't
time
think
based on the
so.
babies.
No.
He remembers based on sales.
No, yeah, I don't give a shit. At the time, I didn't care about family life. It was no, it had to be. It had to be. It was either the March or the fall show of 2008 because I bred that snake. No, it was fall of 2008 because we went to an Italian restaurant.
Sure.
I'll never forget this. Anyway, we go to Will's house and we're doing the deal with Will. Will bought the first banana. He bought it and he actually paid $25,000, okay, for it. He bought it as a caramel albino out of Africa. And the year that he brought it in was like 2004. It's a true story. I remember him telling me it. So
I'm not arguing with
do
you
you
about that.
so she was there, and she'll tell you. Do you remember what was the specific thing, Gretchen, that Will did when we were in his house picking up the banana? Do you remember what he did with
I
the
don't know if
frozen
we're allowed to
thawed
say
rats?
that.
We can say it. Will's a friend of mine. He's okay. What did Will do with the frozen rats and mice that he had on his kitchen counter? Do you remember?
I do not remember. I just remember he had like this big cage with the tortoise roaming around in the middle of his living room.
Do you remember anything else?
It was not clean.
Okay, all right. She says it was. Will was walking around, and I didn't understand what he was doing, but he was grabbing tongs, and he was taking rats, and he would throw it over his shoulder. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was just walking around, and he would throw a rat. He would throw a fucking mouse. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, it's for the loose animals, Brock. And I go, oh fuck, okay.
Loose animals.
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause he
had loose animals in his house. And again, I love Will, but he was throwing.
feeding them.
It was true
Hoping
story.
they come out.
Yeah, well, feeding the snakes, feeding whatever. Yeah,
But they were loose in his house.
they were loose in his house.
Just ball
Yeah.
pythons. I would hope.
I have no fucking clue. He had a lot of species.
That's
I've
wild.
talked to breeders in the hobby. I've talked about losing a snake for 9 months and finding it being like 300 grams heavier than when they lost the animal.
Yeah. And again, no disrespect to Will. This is all true story. It happened. Yeah, I love Will. He's a good guy.
All right,
So
bro, I gotta ask you, biggest weekend of the year for reptile vendors. How do you feel? This is a fucking backyard show in a sense for you. You're a veteran of Tinley, but you got a lot of competition, my man.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, I got
but
a lot.
I know
A
you.
lot.
But I've seen your table, okay, and I know you got some amazing stuff. But what's your prediction for this weekend?
Well, I mean, it's Tinley Park, and we've already had an okay show. And I really love coming to Chicago. There's always what people don't realize is so many people come to Tinley Park that you have no fucking clue who they are, no clue that they're watching all these YouTubes, watching all the social medias. They come here, they got $20,000, $30,000 to spend, and yes, it's between me and a couple other people that they will come to our tables and they'll spend the money. And luckily, if we get
Are you
lucky-
talking about Sunset Road?
Well, I'm just saying we get lucky, and some people will spend money with us. So yeah, it's always people you have no clue who the hell they are, where they come from, or this, that, and the other, but they're just getting the hobby. They're just getting in. They've been watching all the socials, all the YouTubes, all that shit, and they come there like, holy shit, look, and they look at your spread, and they're like, this is amazing. And then you get lucky and you make a sale.
Well, being who you are, being in the hobby as long as you have, do you
I'm
find
nobody.
that it's more pre-sales that you have lined up coming, or do you have random walkers that like really make your weekend?
A little bit of both. I mean, I have pre-sales, of course, but honestly, the random walkers, random walkers. I have people, Dave, honestly, at especially the fall Tinley Park show, that will come and drop between $10,000 and $20,000 for me. I've never met before, and it's really awesome, and it's amazing when it does happen. So, but yeah,
We're talking about random walkers who know where you're at. Like these, like you're a freaking like staple at a Tinley show. You're at the same freaking booth all the time,
great team.
and you don't play. Like when you come to a Tinley, Brock, you come correct, bro, and you have some top shelf stuff. Like, and it makes sense why the walkers come and they drop a bag with you. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not bragging. I'm a nobody.
I'm laughing at you, man.
You are laughing at me. You're the one wearing the shirt.
He's laughing at me.
Look at feeling good. Well,
So good at all.
Brock, does it excite you when people shit on Sunset because it keeps people out of the market and you just keep on
Hang
killing it?
on. You see this guy right here? This guy, he hates sunset. He does. I'm throwing him right now in the headlock. He hates the sunset, and it's okay. I still love MJ, but no. Yes,
I love
do.
Gretchen, though. His wife's amazing.
Everyone loves. Get in here. They love her.
She makes great
She's
cookies.
Yeah, she makes wonderful cookies. But no. Yeah, so people that hate on the sunset, MJ, you just have to make good snakes that will fucking show people that they're amazing and that they are worth investing in and that there's a lot to still be done with it.
What's
They are.
your favorite sunset combo you've made to date?
Oh, my sunset puzzle, of course.
Do you like the OD more or with the
Oh,
regular?
the OD's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just showed her off in that video I did for MORPH with
Yes,
MJ.
please check out that one and only Brock Wagner collection
With my
tour.
clock.
Please watch his clock, okay? All right.
Yeah.
And shout to his wife for actually filming that for him.
No shit.
But really, man, it was cool to see like some of the stuff you're most excited about.
Yeah, no, the OD sunset puzzle is honestly my favorite snake. Now, that being said, I will still tell you, and I'll say everything, Hypo sunset, still hands down. I think we all can agree, it's amazing. I mean,
I think Sunset needs hype.
It does, and it does. And you know, I'm not trying to shit on all the other sunset combos out there, Clown, DG, Ultra, all that stuff. And Ultra is nice, but a Hypo sunset is still absolutely fucking amazing.
I got a question for you. You know, sunset works better with the brighter stuff, right?
Of course.
Okay, so what do you think the sunset highway would look like compared to the sunset freeway?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because I have a sunset freeway on my table right now.
And it looks great, but you know, highway does lighter stuff.
It does brighter stuff. You're 100% correct. I honestly, MJ, because I'm just dumbass Rob. I didn't even think about taking. I'm saying it that I never thought about putting sunset and gravel and doing the sunset highway. I never actually thought about that.
Why don't you give me that project? Like, hand it to me.
Should we honestly give him a sunset? He is a sunset
No.
hater.
I will.
No. Can we agree?
I'll be a
Dave,
born
Dave,
again.
should we give him?
He's just gonna sell it.
How about trying more?
No. He would sell it. He would not be able to handle it. He couldn't even handle it. No, he
It will
couldn't.
be when you look at that brown state for 3 years.
Yes, the brown turd. What do you call him? Red turd? What does he all say?
Brown turds.
Brown turds. Thank you. I've seen him. I've seen him do it. And so yes,
I mean,
we can't do it.
but listen, Brock has proven me wrong with so many different productions of sunset that don't look like shit.
There's some.
That's true.
Yeah, you have to really work your ass off. But yes, it makes them look really beautiful.
So
Amazing combos.
It is.
trends in the hobby. Did you find it odd that Hypo became relevant 5 minutes ago and Xanthic became relevant 5 minutes ago?
Yes, yes, 100. Dave, good question. I cannot believe that like Hypo is now coming back because in 2020, 2021, I couldn't sell a fucking Hypo. Dave couldn't sell a Hypo. MJ was irrelevant, but anyway, yes. No,
What did he say?
Ouch.
No. I'm just saying.
MJ's who?
Yeah,
Irrelevant?
MJ who?
I mean, that's true because then I wasn't around.
Yeah.
It's okay. No,
I'm a noob in this for
No.
sure, but I own it. I am a noob.
you know what? What I do love, and I'm going to go on an MJ tangent. What I love about MJ is honest and he's open. And yes, when he first started this, he didn't know all of our different genes, didn't know all of our genetics, all that
I
stuff.
still don't.
But I know. But what I love about MJ is he admits that. And now it's amazing watching his eyes open up, and he knows so much more about our genetics, and he can have a wonderful, intelligent conversation. I do love it.
Yeah.
I love that about him. I do.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, like I love beauty when I see it, and I see nothing but potential in
Yes.
sunset. It's just not an easy
Well-
feat. Brock, you are the sunset man for a reason. How many years have you been attacking sunset now? Decade? How many decades?
A decade at least.
At least 10
Yeah.
years.
And I watch
Good
you.
for you.
And I love, by the way, Dave, so just so you know, as I was driving here last night, Winston kept calling me and I had to stop him because I kept watching your episode, your MJ episode that you had going on last night. And you guys were.
You're talking about the one that MJ wasn't on with everybody else but
well,
MJ.
anyway, yeah, MJ was not
Yeah.
there. So you had Kabelki, you had Bob, you had Hawker, and I had to tell Winston, I go, and Will Morose, yeah. And I had to tell, and Gretchen was there, and I go, Gretchen, I told Winston, I go, you shut the fuck up. I need to watch this episode.
Wasn't that a good group
It
of
was
guys?
a great episode.
Yeah.
He actually had me text a response to Winston. He's like, hey, text me. I'm watching this episode. Do not call me. And
Yeah, I
but
did.
Winston still called.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was
It's
enjoying
great.
your guys'
It's great, bro.
episode.
Well, hey,
But-
Brock, do you want to be on the next Protect Our Balls episode? You want to be my next guy?
Sure.
Hey, you're
I think
in.
that needs to happen.
I think you're going, buddy.
I think our CEO demand that one.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good one. I was going to call Miguel, but you're being so sweet to me right now. I'm going
Wow.
to go with you.
You know, I'm definitely no Miguel. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
no, but this is going to be good. I think you should join us. I
Okay.
think you'll love this
All right.
conversation.
Are you right about, hey, like how Hypo and Xanthic? Hey, Xanthic 5 years ago, Dave, wasn't really relevant.
Even True Ghost a few years ago was kind of frowned upon. It
No
was
one cared.
neat, but
Yeah.
now, I mean, that
Now
shit's coming in
everyone
strong.
loves it. And I think it's kind of cool because I have now some Xanthics in my collection, and they're growing on me. And there's some definite projects I definitely want to do with the Xanthic that Dave 15 years ago or 10 years ago, I would have never have done until right now.
Yeah, Sunset example.
Yeah, what are your
Have you
thoughts
done
on
that yet?
sunset?
you gotta do that?
We are. I'll be straight with you. We are not working that project.
Okay.
So we do. Not.
Good call.
Well, maybe,
That's
maybe
ballsy,
not.
dude.
Well,
That's ballsy.
can't do it all.
I can't do it all.
The
Okay.
puzzle, hey man, really love the puzzle. Way
Yeah.
better than the clown.
There's things I want to do, guys, with the Xanthic. So like today, I was talking to somebody. Has the DG Hypo Xanthic clown been made?
DG Hypo Xanthic Clown? No, but did Miguel say he had quad hats for like DG Hypo Sunset Clown?
DG Hypo Sunset Clown.
I'm pretty sure Miguel has quad hats for that.
He has
Maybe
quad hats?
breeding
Wow.
now. Maybe. I don't know. That was one of your episodes.
Hypo Sunset Clown?
I think it's DG Hypo Sunset
Yeah,
Clown.
that's gonna look amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
think
hot.
It's
gonna
gonna look
amazing.
pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Because
What are you
DG
doing,
is
bud?
hypo, right?
Yes.
And then if you add that on top of sunsets, Because I mean, okay, let me ask you this, Brock. Miguel, you know I love you, but it took months for him to reveal that DG
Was it about
Sunset.
4 or 5 months?
Longer than that.
Was it?
It was longer. I'm not calculating, but
It's kinda
dude,
weird.
102 days. You know what I mean?
That's kind of weird.
Uh,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I know the hours too.
Hey, Dave, that's called suspect.
Well, you know what? And you get elbow me when you're ready.
I mean, it's Hypo doing the heavy lifting. I think.
Hypo's doing a
That's
lot of
the
heavy
purple.
lifting. Yeah, no, it really is. I love Hypo.
over DG.
Well, won me over with Sunset was at your fucking table, Brock, at Daytona. I was like, oh my god, the Hypo Sunset shit you brought. I'm a purple guy, dude. I love purple.
And it has a lot of purple.
It's
is
Winston.
amazing.
Oh my god, Winston, come here.
Yes,
There
you
we go,
can.
guys.
You're looking
Guess
good.
what? We have Brock's
Don't be a
partner.
bitch.
No, you have to. Whoa,
Come here.
Come on, WHS.
Freak. Come over here.
He hasn't lost his voice yet, folks. Come on, dude, get over here, dude.
Yes, get your ass over here, right here.
Yeah,
This is not counting for
hurry up. Come on, Winston. We're shitting on the Sunset Project.
We
You
are.
guys sit down.
I already.
Go.
By the way, I already threw MJ in a headlock. It felt great.
Oh, it feels great. He takes care of himself. He knows how to take a headlock too with all that
He does-
jujitsu.
You took that headlock good.
that hurts.
Bartholomew.
Whiplash.
Oh,
So hang on. So listen to me. Dave is actually good
In a positive
intellectual,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
intellectual questions, and we're
Okay.
talking about Sunset. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask that. I forgot because I stared at you for like 5 minutes walking over here.
It's-
Okay, well, how about this? You guys have not seen the xanthic sunset yet.
No, and
No, but I want to.
Do you think it's going to add like a little purples maybe that try to fight through? Because, you know, xanthic and anery let certain reds and yellows show.
We can hope.
You want there to be a little something because it's going to change the pattern.
I agree.
yes.
Like an asshole when I'm being mean about the project, I say it's going to look like a GHI xanthic when I want to be an asshole. But because
I mean, I could see that, but I'm excited at the fact there's a possibility it won't, because there is a chance it won't. Because I mean, the color tones on a sunset are super different than a GHI.
100%.
Different type of melanocytes have to be present to make different tones, and I would say
He
that
just used the word melanocytes.
yeah. Now you're making me self-conscious. I hate it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so anyway,
You're good,
so
dog. You're good, dog.
anyway,
You got
you add
this. You got
xanthic,
this.
you basically inverse those, and they're going to represent differently. Right?
What if
Like,
we were calling
why
aneries really
pastels?
xanthic?
What?
What if some of these xanthics and ball pythons are really aneries?
Yeah, I
Unless
agree.
you think we have 7 different xanthic lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's Nick Mutt, right? Like, wasn't that his?
I
thing?
don't know. We might have brought that
I
up with
feel
him.
like he mentioned that, and
It was-
I felt like he made a strong case.
But Dave, we only have 2 xanthic lines, right? Isn't that?
Is it down to 2 now? Now
I
that
think
we've
they're-
grouped them all up?
Are we down to 2?
I don't know. You got BPI,
BPI.
GCR, and MJ are the same.
Same.
Then you have TSK. Or no,
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 TSK is the
TSK.
same as MJ.
Yeah, you're wrong, because TSK.
Yeah.
No,
Never mind.
TSK
We're going to watch the RGI video. By the way, a sponsor of this episode is RGI. I think. I don't know
came
for
down to
sure.
2. It came-
that's not black example. I don't know.
I
No,
can tell you
black
on a
xanthic
different
is the same as TSK.
Oh, okay,
All right.
those two are the same.
They're the same. They prove
What?
those genetically to be the
And
same.
MJ and GCR are the same, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I always thought MJ and GCR were going to be on the same based on the fact they popped out of pieds and based on the fact that we were talking about
Right.
call made xanthic pieds on accident.
Where they came from.
Yeah, because what was it? It sounds stupid, but it was like, you remember this. It was like clutched. It was like female number 13 laid a clutch of eggs, and her great grandchild in 2008 bred one of those babies, or bred the mom again, or the great grandma, and made xanthic pied. So he realized one of the, I know, man, I'm struggling. I'm like,
Well,
I talk fast.
Are you kidding?
I
me?
want to steer it back.
But hey, Dave, we can agree the DG, Hypo, Xanthic Sunset, probably going to be fucking amazing.
I think that too. I think substitute xanthic with ultramelanistic. I think Hypo is going to help out a lot. Okay, standards in the hobby when it comes to an investment level animal.
Okay?
Everybody right now is trying to make the triple quad het visual for recessives. Are we going to get there? And then is it going to be about putting every codom into it afterwards? How do you think things are going to move forward? Because it seems like we're all going to really challenge our stuff to make what cannot be made.
I agree with you 100%. It's weird where the hobby is actually going. It's weird where we're going to go. And yeah, we're going to have 4-5 gene recessives with a codom mixed in 2027, 2028. And that'll be your like high-end, fucking snake. And it's going to be really hard for the new person to come into this and say, is this what I want to chase? Is this what I want to do? I mean, it's going to be kind of difficult, to be straight with you. And I see a future path that is going to be very, very kind of difficult that way. But also the new people getting in, Dave, they can buy triple and quad heads and all that from every one of us. and they can get in right away, where they have that ammunition and the firepower, where things that take me, 3-4 years to make, or 5 years to make, or 6 years to make, they can purchase it right from year one and start growing those up and make that stuff.
So, I got like 5 different directions I want to go right now. We're going to go back to the puzzle for 1 second.
Yeah.
So, was the puzzle sunset something that you were like, yay, I'm excited to work with? Or was it like, I got to make double hats, I want to see what it all looks like? Because in my opinion, the sunset puzzle is my favorite thing so far, outside of the Hypo sunset.
So, honestly, I waited for a long time. You guys brought it up in your own episode last night that I watched. I stayed out of puzzle for a while, okay? I got into puzzle. I bought it from my good friend Ethan. Got my puzzle mail. I obviously had sunset. And I was like, looking at it, I was like, this maybe is going to be fucking cool because they're both pattern disruptors. Obviously, I knew that the sunset was going to add a color, the coloration. I was like, this could be cool. I didn't know. And at the same time, I go, no one's going that direction, okay? No one was bragging or talking about that. So I was like, why don't I take it this direction? And that's honestly why I did it. So I was just experimenting, in my head. I kind of knew it was going to do something different. I honestly didn't think it was going to turn out as good as it fucking did. So I got lucky.
It was great. I mean, it influenced the pattern in a very positive way.
Very positive way. And the coloration. So when you actually see the sunset puzzle, they really, Dave, they don't brown out. And it has more purple coloration on the back of it. It really held the color really well, which is amazing.
Fantastic animal. Like I said, definitely want to stand out. Here's a question about markets. So one thing I said in the podcast just last night is, if I went to the market with a Pompeii, I would have charged a lot less than Justin did.
You did say that.
Because he understood his market better than I understood the market in front of me. But
his marketing was amazing and on point for the way that he laid it out. And you guys were talking about that last night.
Love that. Honestly, what my favorite part about the episode was? Asking him about getting to the Pompeii, and he made the comment about maybe quitting on the project. He didn't really like the red. I thought that was beautiful because that was really got to stick it out. The comparison I was trying to make in that video was the first time I made the bonfire, because Ben did the pairing before I got there, and it was like a 5-gene male to a 4-gene female, and it happened to miss on so many genes and made that perfect 4-gene combo among 7 other babies that were like boring looking.
How do you get that lucky?
But if in that pairing I never would have saw that one animal, it would have changed everything I want to do with the project. Same thing with him talking about the Pompeii. He was ready to jump ship. If in that one pairing he didn't make the Pompeii, he might not have pursued that, and God knows what would be popular right now in the industry.
You're 100% correct. And, I mean, the way he marketed it was on point, and we talked about that last
Not letting us know about Black Pastel was baller, because it was smart.
It was smart.
It really was, because it was, in my opinion, a heavy lifter. But you could have bought Black Pastel clowns for $600 from Breeders' Circle at that very moment.
Yes.
I saw them for sale because I always kind of looked at them a little bit, but never pursued them.
And before he brought out Magma, and no offense, I didn't think Magma was all that impressive.
Neither did he.
Exactly. But once he came out with the Pompeii, Red Stripe stock went fucking, you couldn't buy Red Stripe. Remember that?
And everybody sold them just before it happened. Literally, that was everybody's story in the industry.
One of my good friends had produced some Red Stripes and Red Stripes Heifer Clown or some shit like that before that, and no one would even touch them from him. And then Pompeii comes out, Red Stripes became amazingly insane.
So I think it's, I hate to remember, I don't remember the name, but Dylan, he's out of Canada. I think it's Pet Podcast at Home. If he's not listening to my stuff, but he had Barcheck on a few years ago, and like on my YouTube feed, little clips from that episode pop up. But they did talk about the Pompeii project, and they were just talking about different tiers in the ball pythons, and he was speaking about that tier, and he was just speaking about the marketing, the way they sold Red Stripes for a year, everything about it. Like, nobody in this hobby treats things that way, in my opinion. There are secrets, don't get me wrong, but the way, again, that project marketed, that was 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Actually,
people are still chasing.
It was 7 years ago.
Was it about 7?
Yeah. 7 years ago.
So, and I repeat this, but you remember the Ball Street Journal?
Yeah.
You remember he had red striped fireflies on there that were really nice looking. Yeah. I asked him about that a month or two before the Pompeii came out. I was like, why don't you talk about red stripe anymore? And he said, I've got something coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is cool.
That's actually really smart. I mean, I think Justin took it to the next level when he did market the Pompeii, everything he brought out about the Pompeii. I mean, obviously it made him a shit ton of money. It took his brand up to here, agreed. So it was, I mean, he did a good thing. obviously clearly for his business.
Treating it differently. And the weekly videos, they get better every week. Like when he talks about the animals too, the way he talks about the flames on the side, the way he does his descriptions get a little bit better every episode. And like I always tell people, we all benefit from that. I don't see a weekly Brock Wagner video. I don't see a weekly Bob Boo video. I don't see a weekly William video.
I actually had a good conversation with somebody today, and they were talking about marketing. They were talking about, this, and Canova comes up. And it's a perfect example. He's out hustling us. He's out working. He's out working harder. He's out hustling us. You're 100% correct. I don't do a Brock Wagner video. But on the flip side, I also, when I watched his episode last night, I actually felt his pain. And what I mean by that is when he talked about he has to come up with a banger every week for his masses, for everybody. That's hard. That's really hard. Like, I actually felt for him in that moment. You could tell when he was talking last night about when I was watching the episodes. You could tell, like, Justin's like, I got to impress every week. It's 52 weeks a year. He's got to fucking come up with something nice that everybody's over here like, show us. I don't want that pressure on me. He's got that pressure on him. That's hard.
No, and there's a million different ways to do it. You know what you do, and what you do has worked for. What year did you get into the hobby?
I've been doing this 22 years.
All right, and like you were an early investor in the Spider Project.
Yes, that was my first investment. Yes.
Was your next big one the banana?
No, not at all.
In
fact,
Lesser, right?
if you track my history and what I did, Spider. Then we went from Spider, we got into Lesser. I mean, I paid $33,000 for my first Lesser. But then after I got into Lesser in 2005, I had G-Stripes, Caramel Albino, Bumblebee. Because I'm a ball python nerd, that we didn't get into that till 2008. I'm a nerd. So I got into all this other shit to expand my ball. I mean, in 2005, Dave, I could have cashed out all the Lessers, made $350,000 cash, put that in the bank and said, fuck you, I'm done. But I didn't. I bought more snakes. And I was a nerd. She didn't understand it. She was like, what are you doing? You're taking over 2 bedrooms in a house. I did. Yes. Because I was a nerd about this. I didn't get to Champagne until end of 2007, middle of 2007. Then I did Champagne. It wasn't until after I had done Lesser, I'd done Champagne, done G-Stripes, done Caramel Glow, all that shit. Then, yes, in 2009, I got Banana after doing all that.
So let me know if this is a false story, because I tell it sometimes it could be fake. Half the shit I say is fake.
Okay.
The Champagne ball python, when it hit the market,
yes.
Was there a case where 17 or so people thought they were buying the only champagne out of Africa, but the reality was it was bred over there for a little while and there was stock, and then it was sold to the United States?
Okay, so the way the Champagne worked, I'll never forget going to Daytona 2006. Brian Barczyk at the time, he was big into trading ball pythons before his YouTube fame. And so, anyway, he had Champagne. I fell in love with Champagne at that moment. I saw the Champagne. I go, I have to have. I was bitten by the ball python bug. She'll tell you how bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. Yeah,
Bad.
it was bad. And so I saw the Champagne. I said I had to have this. I took pictures at the show, took them, printed them off on a digital camera, put them on my fucking office wall at the time because I was that infatuated that I needed to get those. We knew by 2007 that Emmanuel Noah was breeding the Champagne over in Africa. We knew that, but he didn't have that many of them, and he was commanding very top dollar for it. So in 2007, I'll never forget, I was trying to get them. I was told 6 are coming into the country. I had the possibility of buying 2 of them. 2 are going to Nerd, 2 are going to Pro Exotics. Or you remember Pro Exotics? I was told, Brock Wagner, you need to come up with $35,000. You have 24 hours. Wire it to Colorado, and you can have the 2 champagnes. I looked at my bank account. I had $28,000. I go, what the fuck am I going to do? Somehow, don't ask me how, I sold enough shit. I did all this stuff. I came up with that money, wired it to Colorado. The snakes came in. The 6 snakes come in. So the 6 snakes, 2 go to Pro Exotics, 2 go to Kevin McCurley. There's 2 left. The guy in Colorado says, you just wired me $35,000 in 24 hours. He goes, these 2 are males and they're het for ghosts. I'm giving them to you. I got lucky. I was very fortunate.
So Champagne, I don't want to say the time of Champagne reminds me of the time of Monsoon, but I look at Champagne as being a very difficult project to combo out. We learned a lot of ways to ruin everything about it. There's some things we put in. I feel like for some people in the Monsoon project, there is a challenge on the pairings
Yes.
because some of the combos. This is on. Do you remember when? I don't know if it was Bailey Reptiles. Remember when the Puma hit the market and
Yes.
took over Super Stripe?
Yes.
And then you went to Tinley, and that one gentleman had a Lesser, a Mojave, a Pastel, and one of their combos side by side. They all looked the same.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of the end of the game. Monsoon, I think Monsoon actually has potential sometimes, but I just think that you have to think a little outside the box on how to breed your Monsoons. The clown Monsoons, I think, are actually kind of nice because it takes a little pattern out without completely ruining the whole pattern, if that makes sense.
I also like what it does to the head too. It makes that like patterns.
You know what? I know you have people invest in it, and there's nothing wrong with saying some of these combos are difficult because some combos and some of these recessives look bad, but Monsoon is hard. You know what I mean?
Well, Dave just started with champagne, and you catalyzed it over into Monsoon. So,
You're right. I don't know
well,
why, but yeah.
yeah.
you're right.
Well, I
It was a
think because
jump.
you think that they're both pattern destroyers and blah blah blah, and I know that that's what your brain's
They
thinking.
distort in a way that you have to think a little smarter in your parents.
Yes, and so with the champagne, we made champagnes in 2008. She came up with the mimosa name.
I love that. We were talking about mimosas on the drive up.
Yeah. So the whole thought process behind that is they weren't called hypos at the time. You had your orange ghost, your yellow ghost, blue ghost, whatever. So a lot of people were working with the orange ghost, and it's like, oh, orange, champagne, mimosa. So that's the only.
Yeah, you guys don't realize this, but
Give it up for Brock Wagner and his wife,
it's-
Gretchen.
oh wait a minute, says she's telling her story about the
Oh,
mimosas.
shit.
Holy fuck!
MJ's an
That was
asshole.
the first time she could. I'm sorry, more mimosa, please.
That was
Holy shit!
no, that was just it. That's my
that?
only contribution
So
to the snake world.
we talked about mimosas on the way over, and I'll be honest,
They're delicious.
they are delicious. And honestly, out of most of the champagne combos, the mimosa is probably, in my opinion, the coolest one that's ever
It's
been
actually
done.
the best one ever made.
I really love it. And, you know, on the drive up, we were talking about it, but it was Tinley's long ago, probably a decade ago. There was a guy set up on the same aisle that Dynasty set up that one time where they bought every table in
When
the
they bought
aisle.
7 tables, yes.
Well, a few shows before that, or a few years before that, a guy showed up with a cinnamon mimosa. And he said he had a big clutch. All the eggs went bad but one, and he hit everything in one. Even the cinnamon mimosa back then was like this purplish, bluish animal. And at that point, and it had big ringers on it too. There's certain things I remember at the shows. That's one that stood out to me. I think mimosa is one of my favorites of all time. It's in my top 10.
So anyway, we're gonna circle around
I think-
Dave's whatever.
I think we're just done. I think MJ said fuck off, and we can't do this anymore because we're on his timeline on my show.
We're not going to do this, so we're going to keep going. So
No.
anyway, now we're going to go back to Dave's question about Monsoon. Dave, I'll be straight with you. I do not believe that we have seen the best Monsoon combo out there yet.
I
okay?
counted Zebra out really early. Zebra's actually doing things I really like.
You like
right
the
now.
zebra clown, the one that was just showed to
I
you?
didn't love it,
Okay, could you see it?
but I love the lace yellow belly combo, and I'm sure the white lace will look a little better. Some
Well, now you're
things will
bringing
not
lace.
cooperate.
We're going to go straight back to zebra clown.
Bring it back.
Dave, tell us about the lace or the zebra clown. Was it really cool?
The fact you had a test for spot nose is kind of a bummer because spot nose does fuck things up in a good way. But here's the thing. With any double recessive, I think we just have to figure out the right thing to do with it. And I'm sure there's going to be some really highlight animals. But I'm also the guy that's for years has said not everything needs to be a clown.
I agree with that.
And I really hated it when the industry was talking about clown puzzles. And there's like a small satisfaction that it's a dog shit combo to me because I think they should have been their own thing.
I invested heavily in produce clown puzzles and then didn't even know I produced clown puzzles. So,
And that's
yeah.
crazy, right? I
Yeah.
have double heads too. I'm
And-
not as invested as you are,
Yeah.
of course.
It-
But no, that was one that I, from the very beginning, because I always thought the puzzle could be a standalone. Like, I don't want to see a puzzle sunset clown. I want to see puzzle sunsets.
Exactly.
But
So now we're going to circle back to Monsoon.
Keep going.
I believe that we still have not seen the best Monsoon combos. They're still yet to be
because we haven't
made.
done anything yet.
We have not done much. Have you seen a Hypo Monsoon? No, I haven't.
No, did you make one and hide in it?
I have not. I think that there's a lot still to be done with the Monsoon.
Yes, I do think you're right, but you're talking about adding colors. Like when we talk about that project, everyone's argument is the hypo will look good, the ultramelanistic would look good,
DJ Xanthic.
DJ Xanthic, which look great.
I absolutely can't wait to make a DJ Xanthic Monsoon. But I think, guys, that there's still things that could mess up the fucking pattern because I got a Paradox Monsoon Pride on my table right now. Everyone loves it. They think it's great. They think it's fucking cool. It's amazing what we were able to do with that pattern.
So here's the question, and now this is an opinion, and I'm an opinionated guy.
You are.
I think there's going to be projects in Monsoon that when you get there with 2 or 3 genes, there won't be building on it anymore. Like, it won't be what more can I do to make this better, but I think there's going to be these like I see DG xanthic Monsoon being nice. I see a white lace yellow belly Monsoon looking nice. I think you have to really focus on that honeycomb look and find ways to accentuate the honeycomb without trying to change the animal too much.
Well, I think that there's going to be genes, Dave, that we are going to combine in Monsoon that is going to fucking tweak out the pattern that we haven't really, you can't really think in your head. You really don't know what's going to do.
I'm not, yeah. Oh, and it very well could because Blitz and Hurricane made paint better.
What's a puzzle Monsoon going to do, Dave? What's a puzzle Monsoon going to do?
I don't know. You working on it?
Maybe.
Okay, well, I like that. I like that.
I mean, you got to think outside the box.
No, but that's my fault for not, but my whole thing with it is there's a lot of new money coming in the hobby that invest in that project because it was a high dollar animal.
Yes.
And that was very enticing.
Yes.
But what I am saying is some of these new people coming in might need a little more guidance on the difficult ones. And I think Monsoon is one that will make a couple bad ones in the process of making some really good ones. You stuck it out with Sunset, but a lot of people shit on Sunset.
They shit on me for 5 years.
And they're shit on you for 5 more years while people slowly keep on buying them. I think it's a great project. I think it's a color tone you can't find, and it's recessive.
Yes. I mean, I had certain other big breeders, maybe even been mentioned, that they crapped on the Sunset Project, and they wouldn't buy it. And they told other people not to buy it. They ended up having to come to get it for me.
Yep.
And I got paid. It was good because I stuck with it, and I saw the vision, and we kept with it.
Yeah. And the same joke, if you had a bunch of Hypo DG stuff in 2016 or 17 or 18, man, what a position you have been in right now, but who would have known that was going to be it?
Who knew in 2020 that Hypo was going to literally be flushed down the toilet and everybody wanted Desert Ghosts in their collection?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody saw it. The year before, in 2019, you could have gone to that Daytona. There was delis stacked this high full of DG combos. You were there with me. You could have bought them for $300 a piece. You could have fucking cleaned out a table with that.
There were people that we know that were in that situation where they bought those stacks of delis at the right time, and they sat on them just for a couple of weeks, and they did very well with that project.
Yes, they did.
And here's the thing. I've always thought that puzzle, and I've always thought DG are really nice. I think the difference in the hobby now compared to before, I keep bringing up, is we didn't used to care what our adults look like. We cared what our baby stock looked like. And that was always kind of one of my arguments is I don't care how they age. I sell baby snakes. But now when people come over to your collection, you're showing off more adults.
You're showing more adults.
And I think this refining your adult stock and knowing that in these genes like DG and Hypo is why people are willing to invest more, because that's the new trend that's taking over the hobby.
We want to make adults or babies that grow into amazing adults.
We do now, but that wasn't always the case in the hobby.
Hey, 10, 15 years ago, we didn't think that way. I was that person. We didn't even think that way.
But I love what ball pythons do because, like I said, you can shit on ball pythons, but they're the most significant conversations you have in the hobby because how ball pythons do in this hobby reflect every other aspect of the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, and I know you keep other species, and I do crested geckos
for fun. They can put me out of business if I'm not careful.
And you know, and you guys, and I love that you guys brought that up in the episode. I love all reptiles. We were just in St. Lucia. She was mad at me. I was going to chase a cane toad. You know, I love cane toads because I was like, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing on vacation?" I'm like, I love reptiles. I love amphibians. I love stupid shit. That's who we are. But when it comes to a hobby and who we are, I mean, ball pythons, we pay the bills. We're the ones that made this hobby relevant. We're the ones that make this show, this Tinley Park show, this big a deal.
ARS and Freedom Breeder wouldn't have 20 different tub sizes if it wasn't for the amount of people that bought ball python racks.
100%.
We all benefit from ball pythons, and I've always made the argument.
You can say whatever you want, dog on us all you want, but ball pythons, we're the reason that this industry is as big and as relevant today as we are, is because of ball pythons.
So last wrap-up thing, unless you got help on me?
I have one, yeah. What advice do you have for new people coming to the hobby and investing? What would you?
Oh, you bet. Yeah, and I get that one all the time. So if you're just coming into the hobby, you're just now thinking like, hey, I want to invest and I want to get into ball pythons. You can look at our color palette, look at our thing. You can think of 5 million things. Like Dave says, you're going to gravitate towards some more expensive stuff. I will always tell people, do what you love. Do what you like. Because you will not be successful if you just go, I'm going to buy a Monsoon because they're expensive. You'll fail. If you don't like what the Monsoon does, if you don't really get what the Monsoon does or see potential in it, don't buy it. Buy what you love. Buy what you like. When I was getting into this and what made me successful is I loved and I always liked the champagne, for example. There's people in 2006 that thought they were ugly, thought they were going to kill everything, and that they were going to be pattern killers. I bought into it because I loved them. I loved what I could do with them. I loved the whole thing with them. Do what you love. Buy what you love. Buy into what you love. If you're just chasing the top dollar stuff, you're going to fail. Do what it is that you like. And also, this is what people don't like. We need to preach this more. If you want to be successful in this hobby, just breed, make babies. You will be successful if you produce and make babies. Don't give up.
I've always said that to people, that most people's failure is lack of production. And, you know, we bring up COVID like every 5 minutes. We're going to bring it up one more time. I remember going into COVID, there's a lot of people like, man, I think I'm going to dial back my breeding going into this because I don't know what's going to happen. People that didn't dial back made a killing. People that did dial back their numbers in fear lost out on a lot of money during COVID.
Oh, amazingly. Yeah. But yes, do what you love. So don't buy something because it's just expensive or because somebody else like Dave or me or somebody else is telling you to do it. Don't do that. Buy what you love. You'll be successful.
She loves her ultras. She invests in ultras.
She loves ultra mills. She's bought an ultra mill from me. I know. Yeah.
And because that, you'll be better off. You have a goal. You have something you're passionate about. I can't make a nice ultra. Not that I don't love the project. I do actually like it. It's good. I like that.
Work it the way you want to work it into what you want. You'll be successful at it.
Another project that's been around for 15 years, and we see no combos. I mean, very minimal combos out there. So everything is possible with that thing.
Spot no special ultra had to get an animal.
This is great stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, good for you.
It'd be Sunset Puzzle Ultra Mill. Yeah.
Of course.
Nice.
Of course.
Yeah.
So,
MJ, you're back in. We're tapping in.
Tap it out.
All right. Good seeing you guys. Yep.
Honestly, I love his wife. She's amazing.
Great cookies.
The Wagners, man. High five. Yes. All right. Hey, check it out. Adam Wickens. Come on up. I don't think you guys met.
You want to end. You wanted to bring this guy in.
Shut up.
I have not met him.
I want you guys to meet.
Sometime.
Hey, how are you?
Adam Wickens,
very well.
Dave Levison, all the way from Canada. What's your business here at Tinley here, Adam?
Talking about pickles and pickle things and why everyone should be eating pickles.
Serious.
Oh, I believe him. Have you had the frozen pickle pops you get at Walmart down here?
Sounds a bit gay, and no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now it's gay that I said pickle, even though you just said it 9 times.
What do you have in your necklace there?
Oh, it's Bartholomew. You know about Bartholomew?
No.
You don't know about Blakey 2-inch?
No.
What do you think? I thought you knew people.
I don't know anything about Blakey 2-inch.
Canada, help him.
You know what's fucked up about Blake? I talk about him like everybody knows him. Nobody knows who Blake is.
Who's Blake?
Blakey 2-inch, Blake Wilson. He does all those South America trips where he's got live fast, eat ass on his thigh.
I want to meet him now.
He's
but...
around here somewhere.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I can't say too much because.
Okay. Does he also wear?
Well, no. We did an episode where he pried this out of his leg after letting it live in there for a few months. Yeah, his name is Bartholomew. He lived in the Bach Cave. You don't know about this guy?
No.
I have to send him the episodes. Nobody watch our stuff.
That's old stuff, dude.
Yeah.
No offense.
That's fine. I'm sorry, making it about me. Tell me about you.
My name's Adam.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I make videos about reptiles, and I'm MJ's friend. So he's like, you should go talk about reptiles on my podcast. And now I'm here.
Okay, tight. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do an episode sometime?
Of course I do.
Okay.
I like your pink jacket. I like your style. And you have a Wu-Tang fanny pack, too?
I go all out, buddy. This isn't an
I feel like we'd get along.
Yeah. I think we're going to be fine. I got 2 of these. You ever need one?
I would love to borrow your Wu-Tang fanny
pack. Okay, I'll let you bring that to Canada.
Yeah.
You might get pulled over at the border with a thing like this, though, man.
That's okay. They don't even know what I'm bringing across.
Dave, Adam works for Chewy.
I do.
Oh, good on you, sir. Did they approach you or do you approach them?
They approach you heavily.
The Chewy guy who approached me before he got the job at Chewy. So it's super legit. Yeah, I love Chewy. I love everything about it. We're at the big booth with the big, ugly, bald guy on the banner. Yeah. That's us there. I'll be there all weekend.
Are you on the banner?
I'm on the banner.
Okay,
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
You're not ugly. You're just where I'm going to be in a couple years.
I was fishing for compliments. I like this guy already. You're right. We're going to get along great. We're going to get along great.
Nice down here. We love Canadians.
That's right.
You think about moving here where it's better?
I tried to move here for 3 years because it is better. And then it just your government's like, actually no, because I get paid American dollars from YouTube, which is an American company, and Patreon, which is an American company, Chewy, which is an American company, and then I pay all my tax dollars to Canada, and you guys are like, no, it's fine. We don't want any of your tax dollars, so I'm in Canada still.
Damn. You get your haircut?
I know, because you guys really like bald people, so
We do like balls.
Yeah, you don't
because all the
elect them.
shitty food that we eat, our hair falls out.
That's true. You guys have a lot of hormones in your food. It's true. That's why
We're
you guys
getting
are
by,
so.
man. We're getting by.
That's why you're so much bigger and have bigger beards and shit. Yeah.
All that shit they put in City Water, I can't read.
Hey, what's your relationship to the Duck Dynasty family?
The beard thing?
Mhm.
Well, they did bring beards back. You know, that was actually a big beard movement in the world, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they were the beard effect. Kind of like how people talk about that if Taylor Swift gets pregnant, we're going to have a baby boom. Yeah.
Is your beard real?
Oh, yeah, it's real. It's getting gray, too. Yeah, because I don't ever get stressed out, but these little guys get stressed out.
Is the podcasting field making the grays come in more?
Ask me that again?
Is the podcasting field, the space of the podcasting game, increasing the grays of your beard?
No, this doesn't stress me out at all. Yeah, because I don't listen to my stuff. Do you listen to your stuff? You got it, don't you?
I listen to my stuff when I edit my stuff, and then I never watch it ever again.
Yeah. I would never know if it was okay if MJ didn't tell me it was okay. Yeah, literally, I wait for his approval for like 3 or 4 days after.
So you record these podcasts, and then just they go into the ether, and you hope for the best?
Yeah, I say.
I like your style.
Yeah, it's not good for sometimes.
I like
he
your
warns me a
style.
lot of times.
That's
but,
pretty cool.
Yeah,
He doesn't listen.
it's not that I don't listen. I'm an asshole. Like,
It's cool. I like this whole Pink Panther thing you've got going on.
What?
Even with the glasses, this Ray Charles thing going. I like that. That's pretty cool. I'm just jealous also that you can grow the mullet. Like you do realize you are as bald as me.
Yeah, right.
You just don't want to admit it. That's
no, I
fine
admit
too.
it. I talk about that spot all the time.
It's grown out for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. The longer this gets, the bolder that gets.
I love
Yeah.
how shameless you are. Absolutely everything about you is
As
just.
a kid, you would spread the food around to act like you ate. He would grow that out enough and spread it just to make it look like it was evenly growing out. And it wasn't.
And he's got a pinky ring that he got from a vending machine. I love this guy.
Let's watching.
Yes. Is it set to the right time?
I gotta buy a battery. I'm too
Oh.
Jewish. This costs $4. This put me out.
I love everything about this. I'm so glad that you invited me onto this.
Yeah, much needed. But okay, a brand like Chewy though, Dave, coming into the reptile space, what does that make you feel?
Well, you know, when we talked to Eugene Bissett, he talked about Chewy and maybe the selling of reptiles in the future. Amazon maybe selling. That's actually a good question to you. Do you think that Amazon or Chewy will ever sell reptiles, live animals on their website?
Well, let me make bold claims, as I know for sure the Chewy guys are in the bar next door watching this podcast. I don't think Chewy will ever sell live reptiles ever. There's zero chance. But, or I shouldn't say zero chance, but I'm going to say a small, I don't think so. But Amazon, maybe, because they're shameless and they might do that, right? Anything for a buck, but probably not. They're probably going to leave that to breeders, good breeders like you and I and MJ, and also PetSmart and Petco, because why not?
And, I mean, Chewy's like the Amazon at this point of the reptile or the whole pet industry. Everything I buy is through Chewy. That's real. I got 2 chicken cages in this week. I only order Chewy.
I'm a huge fan of Chewy's auto ship discount.
Yeah. That's you fish for sponsorships, isn't it?
One complaint with Chewy.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode.
Okay, go ahead, Crystal.
Go ahead, yeah.
So I work for a veterinary telehealth company where we prescribe medications, and Chewy won't accept our medications because they don't see our veterinary telehealth company as legit, maybe. So I don't know what insight you have on that.
I would say I know for a fact that the pharmacy guy is a good guy, and I'll mention this to him. What's your telehealth? Talk to me after.
Okay.
The guy you need to talk to is here. But anyways,
Okay.
So telehealth is great. I love telehealth.
Yep.
But there might be it might be a regulatory thing because there is a lot of laws from what I understand, and I don't know, not Chewy involved, like not a Chewy statement, but there's a lot of laws and regulations about medications, even if it's for animals. So it might be just something to do with that. Exactly. Yeah. So also, I'm talking completely out of my ass, and I don't actually know. I'm trying to give a good answer because I know for sure in Canada, where I'm from.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I want to order veterinary medicine to my door, I have to be around to sign for it. Like, there's certain things like that where, or like, I can't order from a different province. It has to be from Ontario. So, if you have a telehealth in Ontario, you can't serve somebody who's in Quebec. for example.
It's similar here. You have to be licensed as a vet in the state of residence for the client
Can
that
you
you
be-
are prescribing to.
Are you allowed to be licensed in multiple states?
Yes, I
So
am.
I don't
Yep.
think we're allowed to be in provinces. So if you're registered in Ontario, I don't think you're allowed to be registered in Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what I really like about this? I've always wanted to do a podcast with you because you're very opinionated. I love debating people, man. We probably don't agree on anything in all honesty.
Wait. You knew
Maybe
about
we do.
Adam before Adam's sitting here?
Well, yeah, because on my YouTube algorithm, he pops up with his audacious
Nice.
headlines.
Epic.
Nice.
Yeah, I've sent you some of his
You
videos.
actually have. No, you have. Yes, you
Yeah,
have.
one time. That one time.
It was,
Yeah.
what was the
It was
topic?
probably like a 3-year-old video I thought was relevant.
The leopard gecko one?
I think it was when he said he was going out of business, but I don't know if he was going out of
No,
business.
that was you talking about more parking jumping it.
Was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because
We allowed to talk about that because they flew
Sure.
here.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, but it's all
Oh,
out
yeah.
there. I mean, Gary made a little boo-boo, you know, like he, I don't know, he was kind of pushed into making a decision that he regrets. But I know at the end of the day, like, Adam's fucking very influential with what he has going on, and he's definitely all about the animals. But let me ask you this. Do you feel like cohabitating leopard geckos is a bad idea? Well, I mean, you keep them, so you tell me.
It's hard. It's a hard question to answer. I mean, you kind of look at what they do in the wild, and I feel like there's not a true statement on it. We don't really know.
But we do know. That's the
Okay.
thing. So I've done a lot of I booked a trip to Pakistan to go prove my point, and then I was told you're really, really white, and we're going to rob you. Don't come right now. It's a really dangerous time. So we've put it off. But we do know. So in the wild, leopard geckos are never, ever, ever found alone. Ever, ever. They're always found in colonies. They have to call them loose colonies. So what that actually means is at night, they might disperse a little bit to go find food. But their argument is, oh, well, in the wild, they've got vast areas and they can go wherever they want. No, they don't, because there's predators over every turn. So what they do is they actually stay in these walls, these brick walls, or these corridors that they dig into the earth. And the difference between what I do and what is in the wild is what I do is they're bricks that have an opening and an exit, every one of them. So they can go out. If they're being chased, they can go. In the wild, these corridors do not have exits. They have one entrance and one exit. So in the wild, it's much more dangerous. Not only that, but in the wild, everywhere that you have these harems or harems, you also have multiple males, beta males and alpha males. And in captivity, I have no males, but you could have one male. And I have no males and only females. So there's no breeding behavior. And the reason that female leopard geckos, according to the Kahn paper from 2009, fight with each other is because of breeding behavior. So what induces breeding behavior is males. So if you don't introduce a male, then there's no breeding behavior, and therefore they're not going to fight.
So I think after listening for the last 5 minutes, were you that drama about putting like 2 geckos in one of his cages at the same time? And I canceled?
Dave, I put 65 leopard geckos in a 10-gallon enclosure. Everybody knows this by now.
I like that. They stack themselves. You got to teach them how to do that.
No, they stack themselves.
Hey, Bob Ashley, real quick. Come on, Bob, real quick. Just say hi to the people. The one and only Bob Ashley's here. Say hi to everyone who's viewing, who's not here at Tinley. What are they missing out on, Bob?
All the fun, man. That's where everyone's at. If you're somebody, you're here. You should be here. Absolutely.
Bob Ashley, thank you so much. You're the man. Thank you so much.
Love the shirt, bud.
That was a great promo.
That's like I paid him for that.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, you forgot your script.
We did one podcast. We did one podcast with Bob. We did one podcast with Bob, and it was something where like it was a time, like it was a scheduled time that we had, and I've never had any podcast that had the quickest one word answers in my life. It was like yes, no, or like he'll name whatever the answer was, and was stone faced afterwards. It was always like, tell me the next question. Tell me the next question. And so to see Bob come in casually just to say what up was pretty iconic. I didn't think he would come over here, to be honest.
No surprise. So did I tell you that I did one with Bob and Brian like 4 or 5 years ago? I had them both on at the same time.
Where was this at? Like
For House Rock.
Oh shit!
So I had them both on, and imagine talking about shitting in boxes with one guy and animal conservation with the other. And some reason we all couldn't get on the same page. So literally, we did like a 2-hour podcast, and we got done. I was like, guys, I think that was the worst time ever. I called up Bob and Brian. I was like, we're not going to air this. I think it was too shitty because they had no rhythm. But
they're like night and day. They're so different.
Yeah, they have the partnership with NARBC, but what their likes are very different. Their friend pools are very different. So Yeah, we scrapped it afterwards. I was not embarrassed, but I called Brian and he's like, "Yeah, for sure,
I
fucking
think
get
we
rid
need
of
to
it."
try to do that again. Like somehow, I think you could pull that miracle off. Dude.
Last podcast I did on Herp House Rock was Brian.
Okay, maybe we should not. We should leave it.
No, I'd do it again. I love talking to Brian. I think, well, Brian's a good storyteller and Brian puts on a good auction. Honestly, when it comes to the hobby, he's probably one of the 2 best auctioneers we have at this point.
You know, I never intrude on podcasting crashing any of your episodes, but if you have Adam on, I'm crashing the shit out of that.
I'll let you crash. I'll let you
cool with
crash.
that?
Yeah, just raise your hand when you want to talk. Don't just be like talking.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'll send you a little, we need a little like sign with like Darian's face on it. When you want to say something, put Darian's loud ass face on there.
Adam, I appreciate your time, dude. I want you to have fun this weekend. I'll be spending time with you, of course.
Yes.
Adam Wickens, guys, if you're not following, go give him a follow, but give it up for Adam Wickens.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. All right, so why don't we send this home just us 3? I mean, here we are. Me, Dave Levison, and Krista. Krista, what do you have to say to Dave right now? I mean, come on,
What do you mean, Dave?
you have
This is
Dave.
us.
No, I know,
Come
but
on.
yeah, but she
was supposed to have me
knows
for months, but
she's
she skipped
had
her show.
she knows MJ. She doesn't really know Dave.
She knows Dave. I probably talk to you
Are you
more
still?
than you.
Are you still? What? Are you
don't
still
answer.
intimidated by Dave?
No.
You're
Oh,
not.
Shit.
Nope.
Was it a scared intimidation? Like, tell me about that vibe. What was it? Because my knowledge or my rapiness?
Your knowledge.
Okay, respect.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 on that.
Yeah.
As a girl, is Dave handsome?
No, it's not.
No, I just want to know is like if
She's
you're a
gonna
girl,
lie to
do you
right
think
now.
Dave's handsome?
I have my arm around her. She's not allowed to say no right
Because
now.
I don't want to be Fruity Loop, but I think Dave's a handsome dude.
I mean, you have a girl, right?
Yeah, but
That doesn't
mean
matter.
shit.
That don't matter.
Look at these ugly assholes, all these beautiful women.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just a hobby.
Yes. But would you say he's a handsome dude?
yeah, inside now.
Yeah. Oh, she started inside, not the
You want
outside.
it-
Why'd you say inside first? I would have said
I
outside
feel
inside.
Like that matters more.
Oh, I guess that's fucking cheesy, dude.
I'm a car salesman on the inside. I fucking sure.
Looks are always gonna change.
Yeah,
Change.
for me, for the better. In all honesty, I feel like I'm aging like a
Yeah,
fine wine.
age like fine wine.
I
yeah.
feel like if you get one glimpse at Dave and feel a little bit of hotness, give 5-minute conversation with him, and you're in love. It's over.
Now, only Eugene Bissett.
Dude, Eugene Bissett said that Dave is probably the best person he's ever met in this hobby. Like he said it on the live after one phone conversation. What was that conversation about?
We talked about everything. We didn't even talk about the hobby that much, man. We just it was one of those guys that we talked and we've known each other for 10 years.
But I feel like you put him on game with something. Like I feel like you told him something that he didn't know.
Well, it wasn't that. You know what it was is he had some serious things he wanted to ask that he didn't want to bring up in a podcast. So he called me ahead of time to learn a little bit about me. And I'm an honest guy. You asked me a question, I'm going to give you an honest answer. But no, it was a very unique conversation.
I think honesty is what anyone I feel like feels off just talking to you in a minute. You know, Dave, you're very
Kind of hold back.
you're so genuine, bro.
It's not bullshit.
Yeah, it's not bullshit, right?
You're
And
real. You're not fake.
And I just feel like I was always blessed enough to be introduced to you as like somebody who's like, this is somebody who he is. There's no persona. There's no fucking fake. It is what you see, and fucking, I'm taking it, buddy.
I say it all the time. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you, buddy.
No. Some other asshole network would have fucking took advantage of
Well,
this.
they did as soon as I did an episode with you.
Right? No, but you know where home's at. There's your home, buddy.
What do you-
Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. Nobody's believed in you more than I have when it comes to
Let
podcasting.
me get away with some shit.
Right, but I fucking told you how important you are to this field.
I finally get a computer. He's like, wow, would you get that in 2012?
Which isn't that old. I've seen
it's
older
great.
ones, right?
Yeah, it's been in a bag since 2012. It didn't age at all.
So he could have had this powered on 3 years ago.
If I only looked in that closet one time.
But you know what, Dave? I don't think you're looking in a closet because you're out of them.
I am out of closet. I have one closet, and I get yelled at every day for even having one closet. I'll have 2 closets someday. Yeah.
Krista, what are your goals, man? Let's talk about like what's the best outcome you could ask out of being a podcaster in the next year or so. Like, what do you really want out of this?
I mean, I've always been like a knowledge-driven person, and there's so much to learn between the various species and morphs, how genetics work. So I just want to expand not only my knowledge base, but for the listeners too, because I think they're better equipped to make decisions for their own business based on knowledge that they have.
How can you make the knowledge? Because, dude, you have Krista. You're definitely one of the smartest people I know.
I appreciate that.
Mad props to that. But how can we make the knowledge cool to the people who aren't even caring about learning? You know what I mean? Because I feel like wanting to learn about certain things in the hobby comes with maturity of being in the hobby. But how do we grasp those people from the beginning?
I think just showing them how knowledge, I think, translates to success. Everybody wants to be success, right? But you have to put in the work. So I think if you show them the transition base from knowledge to work to success, I think people will maybe, and make it fun too. Make it down.
Original brand. And we've talked about it. You need to lean into your expertise. And, the rodent podcast we did was significantly better because of your experience in that.
Facts. But also goes back to you being a part of that too. I feel like you guys, the dynamic on that with Emilio, hey, Big E Top G, we miss you, buddy.
Yeah, right?
I fucking dude, we love Emilio, man. Like honestly,
Emilio!
like he's a big missing piece to all this right now.
I know.
I was going to ask who was going to be here. I just assumed.
He's here in spirit. But honestly, like I said, the guy breeds fucking thousands of mice weekly. He knows the ins and outs of the game, just like you do. She's up and coming, but you have the whole entire fucking scientific side of things that you've learned throughout the years, Krista.
It's taking work. I mean, it's not an overnight thing.
No. That's why you look tired a lot.
I know, I get that. People think I'm high. I'm never high.
People think I'm high too.
Yeah.
Wait! Tell Dave about your Monster Energy drink experience.
It was wonderful.
Bro,
I had one today. I
Dave,
had my second one today.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about
I
that.
can do one a
So
month.
check it out. I'm on my way to the airport, right? And Marshall's driving. Hey, Marshall, you're another person missed, by the way. But Marshall's driving. Chris is in the background, and I hear, and I'm like, Chris, and I'm in the front seat, and I'm like, Chris, are you okay? She's like, yeah.
Okay.
I just had my first monster.
Okay,
And
I was not like
I'm like,
that.
whoa, dude, you took a couple deep breaths like
I
that.
did?
Yes. And I'm like, Krista, wow. She's like, yeah. And it had all the sugar in it. And so, mind you, there was zero sugar, and there was the raw green, like all of it, like boom, like, and she drank the boom, and she fucking got lit off
good.
one monster.
It's so good. I had
lot.
my second one today.
Yeah.
Some tangerine dreamsicle reminded me of the dreamsicle ball python. I was like, I gotta try it. It was good.
How old are you? 20 what?
28.
28-ish. Had 2 Monster Energy drinks on her party resume.
Yes.
Bad influences.
Yes.
I like energy drinks, but I don't like. Well, actually, I'm drinking energy drinks right now, but it's very good.
He's more of.
You did tempt me at SCRE.
I asked her if
with
she wanted
those
to double
Chewies.
Dutch my cup. She didn't know what I was talking about, so I did one of these.
Lord, what's that? I don't even know. I'm not even gonna ask. Just no, I can't ask questions. I can't Google either.
Yeah,
Apparently,
you can. You can
No.
Google double
Okay.
Dutch.
No, can't Google. No, I've been in trouble doing that. So.
Hey, man. Hey, it'll change your algorithm for the better.
S.
Will you have one drink with me and Dave tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Just a little guy.
I will.
What's your choice of drink tonight? It's on me.
Something sugary.
Oh my god,
Like
dude.
fruity.
Okay, I love
Malibu
Krista.
Sunrise.
Krista's the only female. Krista's the only female I ever met in my life who ordered pasta with a side of mashed potatoes.
Is that an option? Put it on top?
No, it's on the side. I like my mashed potatoes.
What happened?
I was,
Growing up, you did
dude,
that.
I was like, that's something I would do. Like that is an MJ maneuver.
Well, you end up having some of it too.
Oh, 100%. I'm a heifer.
I couldn't eat it all.
But I love where your mind's at.
Well, like tonight I had.
Mashed potatoes and spaghetti?
Tonight I had some.
You're like,
pho.
you're like the most intelligent person I know. I love when you eat potatoes
Yeah, I
and spaghetti.
know, right? It's like it's flattering, I guess. So tonight I had some pho. Okay,
Oh,
Some
fun.
what?
some pho.
Some
It's
potato
so
in it?
fun. Say fun. It's fun.
Is it pho? It is pho. It is
Shit.
pho. But it might be pho. Gyro
not
gyro.
pho.
Gyro gyro.
It's spelled P-H-O.
Okay, we call Vietnamese soup pho in this country, not pho. You know what a gyro is?
a Greek thing.
A gyro.
How do you pronounce a gyro? Gyro. How do you pronounce that?
Gyro.
Oh shit.
I call it gyro.
Oh my god.
I
Guys,
also call my pacifier a tata.
Ooh.
anything you want to wrap up with, Krista?
I'm just excited for this weekend, seeing people networking, getting inspired by being around the best in the world. It's really, where else can you be, Tinley?
And I want Dave to end. I want last words to come from Dave, so I'm going to go next. Super inspired just to be around Dave. I'm super inspired to be around you. Super inspired to be around this whole crew of people over here to my left, minus maybe a couple of them. But I got to say, I love this fucking vibe. I love this energy. Shout out to Dave Levison. Shout out to Krista. Shout out to the entire Trap Talk Reptile Network. honestly, guys, I thank you for believing in me, man. Like, honestly, you guys are committed to a show that you guys don't miss on. And Dave, I love where you're headed. Krista, you know how I think of you. And yeah, I fucking love you guys, man. But let's hear from Dave. This is going to be a send-off from Dave Levison.
Send off. If you haven't done Tinley, I don't know why you haven't done Tinley. You got to come to October. We need like at least 3 fans. No one's even staring at us anymore. I need stares. And hey, you guys remember the ending? Like and subscribe, guys, please. Have people been liking and subscribing? Are you sure?
100%.
I brought that 1,000 Chad Brown shirts this weekend to give away. Can I do that still? You gonna talk Chad for me?
Yeah.
Make him do it?
Okay, how about we give a gift to a random comment in the comment section? What would you want to give to that person?
Well, I found a box of Ben Rennick hats when I was moving.
What?
Yeah, there's only a couple in there, and I brought a couple to hand out to a couple people. But if somebody makes the right comment or however you want to manage it, I have some old Ben Rennick hats. The only ones he probably ever did.
Oh my God! Well, listen, that's what we have on this Tinley hobby episode. Next one will be October, and don't forget, man. Trap Talk Reptile Network 7 days a week. The only reptile network that's 7 days a week. We're gonna enjoy the rest of this Friday night, and we'll catch you at the top. We're out. Chee.
Chew.
Chee. And we're done. Love you guys, man.
How long did that take us?
A couple hours. Kiss. Yeah.
That was
I
fun.
just like
That was fun.
It was easy. Once we started getting people flowing in, it was great.
Yeah, I like rock.
Rock.
That